Welcome to Texas Card House RGV as we're getting ready to play some 2-5 action, 2-5 no limit hold'em. We pick up the action here. First hand of the stream. Seat 1 there, Tony Stacks, ace-jack suited, going to be raising it up to 45. Right next to him we have Sal, also with an ace, but he'll get rid of it. And looks like Tony Stacks will take down the first hand of the night. Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley. This is Texas Card House, TCH live from South Texas. 2-5 we are playing, and we will go around the table there as we've just played one hand. Tony won it, so he's currently in the lead. You can see their names and stack sizes on the bottom there. Tony coming in for 900 bucks. Got Doggy in seat 3. Marty in seat 6 in for 1,000. Seat 7, Adrian in for 400. Rene G also in for 400. Sal in seat 2 in for 1,000.
Welcome, welcome. What's going on, Isaac?
Second hand, Tony won the first hand, raised it out of the small blind, and got a little twist on this 2-5 game.
Yes, sir. We do have a twist for tonight's 2-5 action. It is a VPIP game, so the two lowest players with the lowest VPIP every 30 minutes will be substituted out to one of the outside tables that we got out running on the main floor, and we will bring in 2 new players every 30 minutes, guys. So be prepared. The game is set up to have action. And speaking of action, we have the Lincoln Lawyer sitting on ace-king offsuit, looking at a $25 bet, and he elects to 3-bet it to 75.
Yeah, I think normally that's a good size, but yeah, you know, since this is a VPIP game, like you said, I think maybe he should go and size that up just a little bit because people are going to be calling him lighter, wanting to be involved in pots.
100%, and I agree with that. And as my co-host Isaac said, we welcome you and thank you guys for joining us this beautiful evening, Friday evening, here in the All-American City at Texas Card House RGB. My name is Randy Chavez. Randy runs it up on most social media platforms, along with my co-host Isaac, who goes by, once again, I'm not sure.
I have a couple burner accounts.
There you go, there you go. Well, like I said, we do expect a lot of action tonight, guys.
So yeah, you can see the 10-5. No. I thought the 10-5 called. It looks like.
No, we have Rennie G sitting with King Jack. Yeah, it was good enough to get through.
Okay, yeah.
You got to figure.
Because, I mean,
a third of his stack going in.
So yeah, you know, once they go and call that initial $5 or call that initial raise, that goes and counts towards their VPIP. And speaking about VPIP, bam, there it is. 3 players are not on the board yet. So Sal, Doggy, and Adrian, they have not played a hand. Granted, this will be the 3rd hand, but the 2 lowest ones at the end of the half hour will essentially get voted off the island and get replaced. There is a secondary 2-5 table out on the main floor. There is also the $2,000 tournament that's going on the main floor as well. And I believe there's like a 1-3 cash game going on. So yes, a lot of stuff going on here in Edinburg, Texas.
Yeah, a lot of action. A lot of action. I said it last week. We were setting this up, wanted to give the people what they wanted, and did our due diligence and did exactly what we wanted. We got out, action players to jump in on the game. We have action players out on the second table, and we have a potential third 2-5 hold'em table that's going to be opening up here soon if a couple more players that are interested or were interested jump through that door. So with that being said, we have Sal raising the King Jack of Hearts to 60, and action is now on Doggy with the 10-3 offsuit.
And
Says,
I
why
think maybe
not?
he heard that he
He-
hadn't played a hand because he
Yeah.
is in this hand with the 10-3 offsuit.
Out of the
So
small
essentially, yeah, trying to get involved here. He was a small blind, so like he did not voluntarily put money into the pot. He was forced. And him calling this raise will count for his VPIP.
We do have a couple first timers on the stream tonight. Doggy being one of them. Smiley being another one. Smiley, who I have a history with out in the main floors, he is quite aggressive and very creative. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight as we have Sal got checked to and leads out for 75 with the King Jack high.
And Smiley's
Wants
definitely
to
calling.
spot.
Has a
Smiley
flush
is
draw here.
definitely going to call. Smiley with a Jack high flush draw and potential backdoor straight draws depending on what falls.
And an 8, you can see on the outs, the 8 of diamonds is still live for him.
Bam. 3 of spades on the churn. That is not one of them. Smiley goes ahead and checks. Actions on Sal, who's holding the King Jack of Hearts, was a pre-flop aggressor and did lead the flop.
So here comes the second barrel for Sal, but he's not getting rid of Smiley. I think Sal thinks that Smiley has an ace at this point, but yeah, actually, he's out ahead right now with his King Jack.
Yeah, he's bluffing with the best hand right now. 7 of diamonds on the river. No help to no one. We have
Smiley
King
gonna
Jack
Smiley
high
going
versus
for it.
8 high.
Smiley going for it.
It's the only way he can win the hand is to bet it.
And he has to bet all of it. He has 230 left, and that's exactly what he does. In for 230, and Sal's not going to be able to call this with just king high. Let's see if he does. I mean, I don't think he is, but he has to specifically put him on a missed flush draw. Like I said, on the turn, once he got called on the turn, I'm pretty sure he put him on an ace. He is getting a decent price, 230 to win 825, but he's finally going to let it go. And ship that pot to seat 5, Smiley, which I'm sure will make him smile, at least on the inside. So it looks like the button will be now on seat 3, and that'll put Chubbs in the small blind and Smiley in the big blind. That does not count towards the VPIP. You can see Smiley's actually in at 100% on the VPIP. 3 hands, he has voluntarily put money in the pot in every hand. Seat 7, Adrian's still not on the seat. It's the top 2 after, so yeah, it is the bottom 2, excuse me, after half an hour, after 30 minutes, that'll essentially have to move to the other 2-5 table.
Seat on the other 2-5 table, and we will bring in 2 new players to fulfill their seats. Shout out to Robert Power from Ireland, who's in the chat.
So I'm not sure if you know this answer, Randy, and maybe the viewers might also have this question. If somebody straddles, so yeah, seat number 7 there, seat number 6, Mahdi with the straddle, does that count towards your VPIP or no?
Straddles, I do believe, do count towards your VPIP. So if I'm
Since
them, I'm straddling every hand.
Yes, for sure.
Any hand that I can, I'm going to put that straddle in, especially being that the fact that they're taking 2 players out, that straddle is going to be very nice. It's going to look good on your VPIP there.
Yes.
So we're going to go multi-way here to a flop. 5-way, the RGB special, as Leo likes to say it. A shout out to him.
King, Queen, 7, 2 spades.
Mahdi out flopping the world with the Queen 3 offsuit. But you do have Greeny G in there with a flush draw and a pair. Bottom pair and a flush draw.
C3 Doggy with the nut flush draw.
That's right.
And then you have the Lincoln Lawyer with a gut shot.
I can go ahead and go out on a limb here and say that 1000% Doggy is not going to fold to the 80. He might put in a raise, to be in all honesty.
Rene probably won't fold either because he has a pair and a flush draw.
Yep.
And then I think Marty will just have to fold if he gets crazy because he just has second pair, no kicker. It's just going to be a call of 50. It might price in Marty. He's thinking about it.
Portia Holloman out of Wisconsin. Appreciate you for joining us.
See what the
My
turn's
name
going
is
to be.
Randy, and we're here in Edinburg, Texas, here alongside my co-host Isaac.
And
Ten of
it's just-
spades on the turn, guaranteed disaster for somebody. The chips
that
are
somebody's gonna be
1000% flying
Rene.
in. Yes, those chips
Rene.
are 100% going in. There's 282 in the pot. Rini G is sitting on 300. I just don't see how the rest of his chips aren't going to go in following this bet.
Especially, he's basically putting in,
140.
yeah, which is almost half his stack in. And Doggy here going to be raising, I can see. There it is. He announces the all-in. Marty will fold. Rene will call. And we're going to have somebody rebuying, I believe.
Off to an early start. Hand number 4. We are getting the blood.
No, he hasn't called yet. So you can see all in for the 360. Rene having to call off another 150. He bet 140.
I mean, I don't think he folds. That's the problem with leading on that churn with the 7 high flush there, though. Is the churn is completing a lot of straights and potential 2 pairs, and a player who understands that might use that to their advantage.
So yeah, even though he hit his flush on the turn, a lot of other combos came in, like you said. The straight came in. I believe seat number 9, the Lincoln Lawyer, actually had ace jack. He would have hit a straight. A lot of 2-pair combos come in as well. I'm really surprised he still hasn't called, but I think he knows that he's beat at this point.
Yeah, when you're putting in 150 and they're putting in basically a min click, right? It's a 360, which is about 210 more. You got to figure that he's not putting it in there fairly light. He's flushed up, and he did call, and he's going to see the bad news. Oh, he just threw him away. So nice little pot for the Doggy.
So yeah, he bet half his stack. He got raised all in. So like, literally nobody shouldn't be raising you unless if they have it, just because you're gonna call like 99% of the time, just because so much money is in the pot and they know that. So like, it's not a good spot to bluff. And as you can see, it was the opposite of the bluff. It was the nuts, the best hand out there. So popping up the VPIP early and often here. As we said, the bottom 2 will be voted off, or
Still
have to
early
switch
right
tables.
now. It's still,
Have to switch tables.
It's a mandatory must move. The bottom 2 get pulled out, and we bring in the 2 new players, and we welcome them to the game. With that being said, right now we have a 3-way tie at 25. It's interesting because we need to start pumping in some action as the point of the game. I'm excited for today, just as I said last week that I would be excited for today. How about yourself, Isaac?
Oh yeah, we had the Omaha on Wednesday night, which was crazy as expected. A little wild Wednesday action. And then the 2-5 actually wasn't here last Friday. I was in Choctaw.
The Choctaw Nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, I was out on the main floor playing on Wednesday. I wanted you to do your thing. I didn't want to be interrupting, knowing that there was going to be a bunch of cards out there. So I stayed out on the main floor, was interacting with the guests. It's a great time as always here at Texas Card House. It's just always a good time.
King
Always
9
fun,
versus
always
King
laughs.
8.
Ace six
So
deuce rainbow. Who wants it more, Isaac?
it's showing Smiley.
Well,
Oh,
Adrian, flop
there
top
you go.
pair.
He flopped top pair. That's what I was trying to figure out, but yeah.
My
So
boy
Adrian.
Adrian leave us. He put his whole name out there.
Mm-hmm.
Look him up on all social media platforms.
Yeah, so it looks like seat 8 there, Rene or Rini, depending on where you're from. I think he's rebuying, or I'm not sure. He's
Yeah, I
not
believe
in his
so.
seat right now.
We have the Lincoln lawyer who has a $10 straddle out front. So he's probably reloading or on an ATM run. But I don't see him not coming back.
Yeah, and this is going to put the action in seat 1. Tony Stacks won the first hand of the stream in the hoodie there. The Jack 4 will probably go into the muck. Is he going to raise with the Robbie? No, just calls.
Tony Stacks with the Jack 4 offsuit making the call under the gun, +1 there.
It's all about the VPIP. All
Yeah.
about the VPIP.
And I like it because we talked it up all week long. The players know what we're looking for. I mean, and as it was, what's the word I'm looking for here? As it was classified, or not classified. What's the word I'm looking for here, Isaac?
So Madi out of the small blind going to be putting in the raise here. He sees all the dead money. Really doesn't have a great hand, but he feels like nobody else has a great hand either. And he's right.
For the ride. The 10,
He's right. He's going to get called by a worst hand. So far so good with Madi's play here, and he's going to flop top pair with a flush draw.
And Doggy
I believe
with a gut shot.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say I believe Doggy drawn dead, but it is a 6 of spades, not the 5 of diamonds. The reader picking up the card wrong, showing it that it's 5 of diamonds, but you could see very clearly it's a 6 of spades. So he does have a gut shot with the 9, which would give Madi 2 pair. And I think he's calling. Yeah.
Getting in there like swimwear. 2 of diamonds on the turn. No help to no one.
So 300 in a pot. Madi's definitely going to bet again. Probably at least 150, maybe 200. Let's see what he does here out of the small blind.
Do not pay attention to the cards on the reader, guys. It's some kind of error, but the board is reading Queen 8, 6 spades, 2 of diamonds.
He's going to bet 115. 115. Maybe he thinks that Doggy has a bigger spade, so not going too crazy. And this should do it. I could see maybe peeling 1 card, but he's definitely thinking about it here in seat 3. So Doggy joining us tonight from the next county over, Cameron County. I believe he lives in the city of Harlingen. That's where Southwest flies into. Is he calling?
Oh, yeah. He's calling.
So a 9 would actually be gross because it'll give Madi 2 pair and give him the straight. It's going to be an ace, and it might slow down Madi, thinking that maybe Doggy had the ace of spades, the naked ace, $535 pot. And he finally checks. Doggy can only win this spot by bluffing. Will he fire? He did think about it on the turn a lot, and it looks like he's thinking about it again. Does he pull the trigger? Only 70?
It's way too little.
Yeah. He basically knew that. So yeah, he basically knew that he had to bet since he wasn't going to win with the 10 high. So like that part of the plan was correct. but the sizing, there was over $500 in the pot. The sizing was just wrong.
Yeah, he gets it through at about 230 probably. Big
I would say a
problem,
little
though.
more, but
Yeah,
all right.
maybe
So
310.
you got the Facebook chat, and I believe I have the YouTube chat over here. Do you know anything about the?
We have a couple 33s, a couple 50s, and an 83. Smiley leading the way so far.
Do you know anything about the TCH live loyalty points, Randy?
I don't.
No, okay. I don't either. This is the second time they mentioned it in the chat. I guess I have to figure that out.
I don't know if our down here might have that. Maybe up north. I'm not certain, to be honest with you. But I will look into that, and I will have a better answer for you by next week's stream. That being said, we have Tony Stacks sitting on the 5-4 offsuit.
Natural 9.
And it looks like he's going to make the call. We got Sal coming in with a raise with pocket 7s, making it 30 to go.
It's on the smaller side.
It's on the small side for sure. Doggy getting in there with the Jack 10 offsuit. Folds around to the button. Marty on the button with the King 10 of spades. Expect a raise a lot of times here from him. Yep. And there it is.
Is that over 100?
Yeah, it's about 120.
115. So playing the position and seeing that there's some dead money in there with just the callers. So pretty much if the 7s call, I think he'll bring along Doggy. I don't know if he'll just call heads up here. These guys just finished playing the last pot with each other. And his 10's not good. He's actually dominated here. So not a good spot. He's going to be out of position and with the worst kicker with the 10. He does make the call, though. The players are actually trying to figure out the VPIP who's gonna have to change tables. Who's gonna have to go to the regular table? It's
yeah, there's a lot. There should be a lot of movement.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of movement today, which, you know, maybe for some players, they might not like it. It was just something a little different that we wanted to bring to the club. So we introduced the VPIP game. We're doing 2 players rather than 1. So I like it. I think it's gonna juice up the game. You got to like anytime.
Something for everybody here on the flop, as Doggy flops open-ended and has backdoor diamonds. He leads out for 100. Madi flopping top pair. He is calling for sure, maybe raising. You can see seat 6 there with the little line. And yes, he's going all in. He's just going with the top pair. Figures it's the best hand. Going to make Doggy pay, and I'm pretty sure he's going to pay. He's got open-ended.
He's going to pay.
You can see his outs on the top of the screen there. Has the queen and the 7 as outs. He also has backdoor diamonds. That's not an immediate out. That's why it's not on there. Yeah.
He made the call, and we're going to go to
diamond.
A turn-in river. A diamond for a sweat?
Diamond?
No. 8 of hearts on the turn. Ace of clubs on the river.
So back-to-back hands, Doggy versus Madi, and Doggy losing both of them. So he's probably going to rebuy, I would imagine. Madi already up to almost $2,000.
Yep, nice little stack there. He's padding that stack really nicely. I do want to go ahead and invite any of the ladies in the area, as we do have ladies' night today here at Rio Grande Valley Card House, Texas Card House. Ladies play for free. We also are the home of the 25K Bad Beat. Lose with a straight flush, get paid. Both hole cards must play. It's that simple, guys. That's running all the time. We do have a couple different promos as we will continue to go through them throughout the rest of the night. With that being said, my name is Randy. My co-host is Isaac. We invite you guys with open arms to come on over to Texas Card House RGB.
So there will be a straddle from either the button or under the gun. and Tony Stacks is putting in the under the gun straddle, which does have priority on the button. So you can see Adrian in
He took it
seat
back.
7. He's gonna have to take it back. He hasn't taken it back yet.
No, Tony Stacks took his.
Oh, Tony Stacks took his back. Well, I would not have done that, especially with the VPIP game, because now Tony's gonna have to.
He might just decide to come in with a raise.
Action will start in the small blind. Wherever the straddle is, it starts to the immediate left. Some places jump the blinds. Some places it's absolute last action. And here it's just normally starts off at the left. Both blinds will fold. And now the action will be on Tony Stacks.
Chat, in the chat, let me know who you think the first 2 players that are going to get bounced out are. Let me know who you think the first 2 players that are going to get bounced out are. Isaac? As I'm interested to know that.
Well, does Rene count? Even though he's not here?
No, he's in. He's in.
Oh, he's back? All right.
He's in. With that being said, though, my guess is as good as yours. So I'm going to hold off on my guess, but I am interested to see who's going to be getting bounced out.
Well, and we're going to find out that answer in about 5 minutes because we're about 26 minutes into the stream here. You can see Adrian checking his option there on the button. And who's the one who bet? Oh, it was Sal who bet.
Yeah, Sal bet 60.
Sal flopping open-ended with the 10-7. And Tony Stacks
with a gut shot.
With a gut shot. So a lot of possible chop possibilities. So right now, Sal is in front, but yeah, if any big card comes, they will be chopping. And so aces and 10s with a 9 kicker. So yeah, it's a chop, right? Yeah, 50-50. You can see the percentages. So they're each going to win 19 bucks. Since it's a chop pot, most of the money is their own money. The pot was 177, and of that, $38 was not their money. So they will chop up the $38.
But they got percentage for the VPIP, so that's a plus.
Yes. So do you know how much Rene rebought for, Randy, or no?
It looked like 300 or 400. I'm not 100%. Okay. With that being said, now that we have a little time while they're doing this chop pot,
that's the tournament tomorrow. We actually have a tournament going on right now.
Yeah, I'd like to invite everybody out for this 5K guaranteed tomorrow. $2,000 for first. It's a $200 buy-in starting at 2 p.m. tomorrow, guys, and it's an unlimited re-entry until the end of registration. So it's a 50K starting stack, 30-minute levels. You know, it's going to be it's a tournament that gives you playability, allows you to, you know, get ready for the WSOP coming in about a month, you know? Get those juices flowing, those tournament juices.
So we're probably going to have one more hand before the VPIP gets put up. They are changing dealers right now. That's why I said it's going to be one more hand. Do you know who the dealer is, Randy?
I believe the dealers on tonight was, if I'm not mistaken, that should be Ashley.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it's Ashley and Ringo. And me and you are the resident DJs here in the booth. So yeah, it's just a great crowd. The floor's looking ecstatic out there. I love it. It's a lot of commotion going on. There's multiple tables running. 1-3 hold'em, 2-5 hold'em. We have a third 2-5 table that just popped off, I believe. So like I said, if you're interested and you're in the area, guys, make your way on over, get in on the action. We do have all kinds of promos. We have a 25K.
All right, Lincoln Lawyer with a hand here. He's going to have to make it big considering he has all the limpers.
And he has the power.
Yeah, so...
Oh, no, he's in the small blind. It has to be even bigger since he's in the small blind.
Yeah, so probably 80? At least 80?
At least 80 to 85 would be... I wouldn't even mind a 90. Yeah, I wouldn't even mind 100, to be honest with you. The fact that he's going to be playing the rest of the hand out of position, you know... Oh, he raised 200.
Did he raise to 200?
Yeah, he went 200.
No. He raised to 100, right? Or 80?
I mean, I thought 100. Yeah, it's 100. The
It's
graphic
100.
was wrong, guys. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
He
And that
should
should,
get through.
yeah, that should take it down. I don't see anybody calling him. And some of you at home might be wondering, like, a 9-6 under the gun making the call, Jack Deuce making the call and stuff like that. Normally that is a bad play. However, with the VPIP game, they are calling the $10 to essentially pay a tax to stay at the feature table.
Yep.
And here's the latest VPIP. I think we'll play one more hand and then somebody will get voted off. Right now you have Adrian and Rene G as the two lowest. I called one of them, but everybody else pretty close. Rene G with 43, 44%. So it's going to be close. This last hand's actually going to determine who.
Adrian and Ridney need to put some chips in.
Exactly.
We have Tony Stacks making it 67 to go.
Yeah, I think he knows we're at that 30-minute mark, so he wants to make sure that he goes and plays the hand, and he's going to try to win the hand as well. Adrian Foden, Rene Foden. So I think those two seat 7 and 8. I think. No wait, Adrian Collin. Okay.
Adrian knew exactly where his VPIP was. Probably went outside for a break, knew that he was in the bottom 2, or he asked and found out and decided to play a hand. So this is bad news for whoever was right above them.
I think there was like 2 or 3 players like at 44. So he was at 43, I think. No. Rene was at 43. So yeah, is it going to be enough for him to jump? Is the question.
Yeah, Tony Stacks with the continuation bet, good enough to take it down since they both missed everything there. King high versus a jack high. Jack high with the C bet taking down the pot.
So exactly 50 viewers watching in right now from all over the world. You said somebody was from Ireland, is that right?
Got Ireland, Wisconsin in the house. You have somebody that told you they put your mama's house.
Mine or yours or his?
Let's go ahead and say he's probably in his mama's house.
Oh, there you go. Probably in the basement. Probably in the basement.
That's funny.
So no strato on. Georgie will limp with the 7-6.
6-7 of diamonds to be exact. I like it. He's probably got cynical plans for later street. I would have just came in with a raise.
Or he could still do that. He could still do the whole back raise here as Madi getting creative with the 9-8. And Adrian, I think somebody told him, hey, you're going to get voted off if you don't play a hand, because he comes in for another hand.
Doggy in the big blind with the 2-3 offsuit says, sure, why not? And he's in there for 40. Georgie ends up completing.
I think a really cool play from Georgie might have been
a back shove.
A back shove, just because it looks so strong. You limp under the gun. People do that a lot with the aces and the kings.
And
so
and not only that, I mean, his persona itself, like his table, they knew, they would have just folded around. The fact that nobody has a hand, it folds around to him.
And then plus, even if you get called, chances are your cards are going to be live. You're going to have really good equity, even if somebody calls, like if they call you with an ace-king or queen-jack, something like that. You're just in bad shape if you get called by 8s or above. That's the only time you're in bad shape.
We have a small blind who flopped bottom 2.
And Georgie,
let out for 100.
It looks like Chubbs there is the one that's going to be gone. And like I said, Rene. So I predicted Rene. And Chubbs tried to play this last hand. Wasn't enough to get the VPIP up.
Yeah, you have bottom 2 versus top pair, and top and bottom. It's bad news for Sal here as he goes all in and Smiley makes the call. 9 of spades on the turn and a queen of hearts on the river. Smiley taking down a pot there.
That's a good size pot too.
Yeah,
$1,500 pot.
He got a full double up there.
So 2 players will go to the outer table, and they will bring in 2 new players from that table.
Yeah,
it's another 2-5 table. We're going to see who they're bringing in. It looks like they already have chips there in seat in seat 8.
Yeah, seat 8 has chips. We're waiting on seat 4. I'm going to make my way out to the main floor to check out those second and third tables.
All right. So Ash Cash will ship the pot to Smiley there. And there is the VPIP after 12 hands. Smiley in the lead. Okay, looks like we got Michelle and Chaos. So Michelle will be in seat 8, and if it's the person I think that it is, he has no issues or no problem having a very high VPIP. And then Chaos, I believe, will be. It's saying he's going to be in seat 2, but it's actually going to be seat 4. I think they're putting him in seat 2 because Sal in seat 2 just lost that pot and lost all his chips. But Sal's rebuying, and then Chaos will take seat 4. I would imagine he was involved in another hand at the other table, which is why he's not at his seat now. And the tracker will continue, the VPIP tracker. So in another 30 minutes, 2 more people will have to switch tables and go to the outer table, and we will bring in 2 new players. So both Michelle and Chaos, they really have to jump into action right away, because if they want to stay at the table, they're going to have to play extra aggressive. And like I said, if it's if seat A is the player who I think that it is, he'll have no problem staying at the feature table here. So Smiley is in the big blind, the straddle for Ma, and the action will go folded around to Tony Stacks with the 9-3, who also folds. Wow, everybody folded. As seat 3, Chaos getting ready to sit down. Looks like he has a good stack there. Two racks. So each stack of green is 500, so that's 1,000 right there. He also has some black chips. Wow, this guy bringing a lot of chips to the table. Rack of a red, that's going to be 500, and he probably has at least 5 black chips. So yeah, he's got over 2,000 in a stack. And this is the 3rd time these 2 players tango, seat 3 and seat 6, Doggy and Madi. And we're going to have some fireworks in this hand. Flush draw for Doggy, top pair for Madi. He's definitely going to bet it. He was the pre-flop aggressor, 130 in the pot. He will bet only 40. Okay. Bets 40. Obviously, the flush draw's calling. 10 of diamonds for fun? 10 of diamonds or king of diamonds? No, it's a 6. Now that does give Doggy a pair. So he has a pair and a flush draw. So he's still at over 30% to win this pot. He's going to lead out and bet $50. I could see Mighty raising here. Just seems a little weak. No, he calls. Doesn't like the 10 kicker. So queen 6 diamond for Doggy. And no, he will miss. The action will be on him. He's playing this hand out of the small blind. He bets $100, and that's not going to get it done, I don't think. Mighty will probably call him here with the ace 10. Yeah, there's the call. He made the call. And he will win the pot. So they've been involved in pots 3 times, and 3 times the result has been the same. As this pot will put him over $2,000. This is the aggressive frequency. 3 players at 0. Now 2 of them haven't played a hand. And then seat 2, Sal, has not been the aggressor in any of the hands. He's just been calling. And the two players who were just involved in the last pot, the top two in the aggressive frequency. So Chaos going to be waiting a hand, which I normally like, but since the VPIP is being tracked, you want to jump right in. Seat 8, his chips are at the table, but I'm pretty sure he's on a smoke break.
And I'm back. Yeah, he's on a smoke break. I was just out there. He should be on the table here in the next couple minutes.
Did you have a smoke with him?
I'm not sure. No, I don't smoke ready.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we have some, you know.
Tony Sachs with the raise to $45, and the ace queen doggy on the button, just gonna flat. I like a 3-bet here. I really, really like a 3-bet here because you're usually gonna have the best hand with ace queen suited, and you're gonna have position. You're gonna clear everybody out, but now you see he's picking up Adrian from under the gun. Adrian had the strato on, so Adrian calls the extra 45, and we are going 3 ways to a flop.
I mean, I like because if doggy smashes, he just has to rip it, right? And there he goes. He's on a gut shot and a flush draw.
A top pair for Smiley, so I don't know if he'll fold. A gut shot for Tony Stacks as well. Queen makes him.
Yeah, Tony Stacks is open-ended.
Oh, yeah, he's open-ended. He's got the 10 there. Okay, so something for everybody except 3-2 on this flop. Top 2 pair for Smiley. I didn't realize he had top 2 pair. I knew he had the jack. So there is definitely going to be some fireworks in this hand. Tony betting 100. Doggy going all in for 155. That is a dead raise. So Smiley can know that all he has to call is 155, and Tony Sachs cannot re-raise. The raise has to be at least double. So Tony Sachs betting 100, which meant Doggy would have to go all in for at least 200 for the action to reopen. The action is closed. And I'm sorry now, Smiley's going all in because he still had the option to raise. It was Tony Stacks, the one without the option to raise. And now Tony is not liking it. He does have the open-ended. Smiley does have everybody covered as he's all in for 941, which is how much Tony has in his stack. You can see even if Smiley loses his hand, he still has $600 left. I think if Tony had some backdoor hearts to go along with it, he would call it off. And the question is, does he want to gamble? That's the question. It looks like he folded. So 2 pair versus a gut shot and a flush draw. So Tony would have hit top pair. And Tony would have missed.
Doggy
Yeah, the jack 9 of Smiley's going to take it.
Another pot going to Smiley there. Doggy had a nice hand. Had a 3-bet pre-flop, could have been all the difference.
Well, I actually didn't know that his stack was that size.
It was relatively small. That's why I said it would have been easy for him to shove anything he hits post-flop.
Yeah, so like maybe Tony Stacks calls him. So Tony Stacks raised it to 45 pre-flop, and he had rebought for $200. So he had 200 in his stack. So if he's shipping there, he's shipping for 200. The action would have folded back around to Tony Stacks, and Tony would have had to call the 155, which I think Tony might have called the 155, getting to see 5 cards with the King 10 suited. So seat 8 still on his smoke break. Well, and just as we say that, there he is. The infamous Michel. He's playing this hand.
Michel.
No? Wow.
I don't know if he knows that we're on a VPIP game. That's the only problem. I don't know if they spoke to him because he wasn't originally on the second table. He's made his way on there and got moved up.
I don't think he knows.
So, hate to hear it here in a couple hands when he hears the bad news.
So it looks like Chaos coming in for a raise here, unless if Doggy raised in front of him and he's just calling. So Doggy is reloading. You can see, looks like 500. 3 stacks of red, each stack being 100, and it looks like he has at least 100 in green. Yeah, he's in for 500. Smiley with the Jack 9 again. He just had it last hand, and it looks like he's going to play it again.
He's padded his stack nicely, too. I think he was in for 5, so he's up 15, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he won the big pot against Sal earlier with the 2-pair versus 2-pair. Yeah, so just a little pause in the action as the card reader catches up. That's why the little pause is going on here. The dealer just waiting to have the green light to flop it. It was a, looks like $30 or $40 raise.
Did Adrian call with his hand?
Yeah.
So we don't know what he's holding, but he's in the hand. I'm not sure if it came around to Tony Stacks yet.
And like that might be what we're waiting on for like Adrian to rescan his cards. That might be what the delay is here.
We still don't have Chaos's cards up there.
I'm pretty sure Chaos knows about the VPIP, right?
Oh yeah, he knows.
Yeah, because I mean he came in for like over $2,000. I don't know if he won that at the other table or if
he bought in for $2K at the second table. So
okay.
Yeah. And we're sorry for that delay, guys. We're just having to catch up with the reader, I guess. With that being said, we do have new promos for this month. The everyday promos, we have a play one, get one. Clock in before 11 a.m. on any cash table. Play for an hour and get 2 free hours. I showed you guys earlier, the Fridays, ladies play for free all day, every Friday for the month of May. The Bad Beat Jackpot that runs, it's 25K. Lose with a straight flush and get paid. Both whole cards must play. And we will have high hands starting May 7th, $200 per high hand with rollovers on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays with payouts each hour from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., guys. So what that means is basically each different time slot is going to have its own set of high hand rollovers. So if you have one, the morning one that might, go from 12 to 3, doesn't get hit for a couple of days, that's only going to be paid in the morning on those days. So that's a great thing that they did. Separating those things, because we do have people that play in the morning, people that play at night, and they prefer it. And me being one of them, I like to play early mornings, not really too much out here late night, but I will come out for the stream games.
Adrian's all in here. He flopped top pair, and looks like Chaos. Have we figured out Chaos's hand yet? Because he was the initial.
His is not showing on the reader. We have Smiley with the Jack 9. Do it away.
Yeah, so like the flop came out and was checked around to Chaos, and Chaos bet, and now Adrian check raised him, and it's all in. And
I'm assuming Chaos has to have a king here, right? I mean, he could have an 8.
Maybe a pocket pair like 9s through queens as well. I'm pretty sure he was the one that raised it to $40 pre-flop. I don't think he's called yet, which means he doesn't have a king, because we'll see their hands right now. Yeah,
it looks like he called.
It does seem like he called, because you got the 125 there.
Well, he has a call button out there, so
okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
They still haven't shown.
5.
Yeah, a lot of chops unless if he has an ace.
King
No, it's a
10.
chop pot. Yeah, it's a chop
So
pot though.
top with that ace.
The ace, a great card for Adrian as he gets a chop out of it. He was actually drawn only to a chop because if he hits his 4, he will have 2 pair, but it's not as good as the king 8. So he's only drawn to a chop, and that's exactly what happens. He gets the chop, and Chaos will get on the board here.
We do have a poker pyramid promo. In case nobody knows, it is a new promo that we just started.
Essentially, it's like the high hands that we're doing during the week, but it's just specific high hands on the week, and it runs Friday through Monday.
Yeah, I'll show it after this hand just to give everybody a visual of what to expect. It's a nice little something. It's good for the players. Anytime the players can get anything, free money is always good money.
So $10 straddle on effect under the gun. Sal will be
The ace queen.
making it 35. That's going to get some folds. And now Smiley, who you said can get creative, has the 4-3, trying to keep up that VPIP.
Well, it's a
Body with the
4-3
jack-
and a stack, so
Yeah,
I expect him being a lot of hands.
Body with the Jack 8 suited going to play his button. The Lincoln Lawyer also with the suited Jack will defend his straddle as we go 4 ways to the flop here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Ashley putting out the flop, and it'll be
5-4-4. Smiley.
he's gonna bet it, right? Or is he gonna check?
I think he's gonna check.
I think he's gonna bet. All right, you were right.
I for sure think he bets this street though.
Yeah, especially with the clubs
Oh.
coming in as well.
Body hitting an 8 though, and
Sal-
Sal leading out with the ace queen.
Sal drawn dead. Everybody except Marty drawn dead. Well, Marty and the Lincoln Lawyer can actually hit a 7 for a straight as well. But Sal is drawn dead. Marty drawn to an 8. Runner 8. I think he has to fold with Smiley calling. Now he's gonna call as well. And does this bring the Lincoln Lawyer in? It does not. Not chasing the straight on the paired board. It looks like Sal does not want to give up on his hand just yet, as he's going to make the call. He thinks his ace or queen is good, but it is not. So Sal drawn dead. Marty looking for an 8. Everything else, it'll be a win for Smiley. 10 of spades, so that's going to put the 100% check mark next to Smiley. He's continuing on with his run here as he's taken his 500, spun it up to over 5,000. 447 in the pot, and he is betting. Oh, it's like a pot-sized bet. So that's what,
475, 500.
Yeah, 475. No, 500. Yeah, bets 500, almost a pot-sized
Also
bet.
puts a lot of pressure, right? Because if he's holding a worse 8 or missed flush draws, I mean, you'd expect that from a savvy player.
And it looks like Marty's thinking about calling him, put in Smiley on a missed flush draw. So Smiley with a big bet on the river, which is normally kind of nuts or nothing, a very polarizing bet here, and Marty knows that. So he's thinking that Smiley might have missed his flush draw or a straight draw. I mean, a lot of the draws missed, and that is why he's thinking about it here with the 8. What might help him get away from this hand is that Sal is also in the hand, and he finally does fold. And Sal will immediately fold. Smiley, so far the big winner of the night, as he will get the $447 pot. And we will continue on here.
We need Michelle to jump in some hands. Michelle and Chaos. The two new players that moved to the table haven't played. They're still at 0 VPIP.
Actually, as far
Chaos
as
did
Chaos
play
did
ahead.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chaos
he
did
did
play
play.
ahead. Well, it's still showing them at 0 here.
He wasn't a blind. I know he either raised to 40 or called a $40 bet pre-flop. All right, Tony stacks with the straddle,
Straddle.
and the action will be on seat 2, Sal. The nice Space City jersey from the Astros. And, of course, we actually have a SpaceX down here in the Rio Grande Valley. Chaos with the ace-jack, verifying that it is a straddle. And it looks like Smiley calling out a position there. Marty's going to play this hand. He's probably going to play it for a raise. Maybe 60.
Yep.
That's exactly
65,
what it
70.
looks like. 65. Adrian with the suited king. Looks like he's going to come along with the suited king. Is he on the button? Yeah, he's on the button, so that helps. And I'm pretty sure he already knows about the VPIP, so normally he might fold this, but wants to get that VPIP up. That'll put the action back to Chaos, who does have the better ace. And this is going to bring Smiley along, I think.
Oh,
The
yeah.
good old pot odds.
You go 4
So,
ways to a flop.
yeah. Ace-Jack versus Jack-10 versus Ace-3 versus King-5. And Adrian actually, statistically, has the best chance to win the hand right now since the other players are sharing their cards. Both his king and 5 are live, and his spades are also live, but the ace comes.
Ace, queen, queen. Chaos with the best hand.
And it's going to be hard for Marty to get a chop out of this. Smiley drawn to a king, which would make him a straight. It is checked to him. Looks like Chaos is just playing some pot control, a little bit worried about the queen since it is a multi-way pot. And it is going to check to the pre-flop aggressor, who will take a stab at it. I think it's going to be a small stab, considering that it is a 4-way pot. Looks like he bets 55 again, or 65 again. No, he bet 60. Getting a call from the ace-jack, and I think this is going to bring Smiley in. He's once again getting pot odds. He got pot odds pre-flop. He's getting pot odds again. He's the big winner of the night. And he, oh, pump fake, pump fake. Is he going to raise? No, he's just calling. So Smiley looking for a king. Marty can't win this hand.
Diamonds.
Yeah, diamonds, yeah, okay.
5 of clubs on the turn.
Because if a king comes, it would have given Smiley a straight, which would have given Marty a chop against the ace-jack, and then if the jack comes, well.
I love the play here by Chaos, who the 5 of clubs on the turn, and he decides to lead out 125. It's a great bet. It's taking control of the pot. He's setting his prize. He does have the best hand.
So only a king for a chop, and he does hit the jack, which actually now gives Marty the chop, excuse me, right? So it's aces and queens with a jack kicker. So that was actually one of the outs that I forgot to take into account, and he will bet and get called as both of them will chop it up. Each one in $104. Well, 104 for Chaos. Since he's out of position, there's an extra chip which will go to him, and then Marty will get the 103. So 207 total in the pot that they are chopping up that's not their money. Some of that money Smiley, some of that money is Adrian's. And that is their profit. That's what they profited each. 104 and 103. And
we're coming up on that 30-minute mark.
That's exactly what I was about to say. So one more hand for sure, maybe 2 more hands, and we will welcome 2 new players. And I was really expecting a lot out of seat 8 there, Michelle, but I don't think he knows about the VPIP game. English is his second language, so I don't think he knew about the VPIP game, because it would have been exciting to see him play. I'm not even sure if he's at the table. He might be on another smoke break.
Well, I guess he'll learn at the same time.
Yeah, so going to be a dealer switch. And I think the dealer will maybe deal 1 hand, 2 hands at the most, like I said. And then we will get 2 new players. And the VPIP, Michelle's still at 0. So seat
And
8, Michelle, we hardly knew you.
Yep, there is time, guys, to make it out. We do have a $20 buy-in, 2K guarantee tonight. It's a $20 buy-in with $20 rebuys, unlimited add-ons for $20. Get 10,000 in chips as long as the add-on doesn't bring players stack above 50K. So there you go. You can have up to 40,000, 50,000 as long as you're not over. And it is a 2K guarantee. It starts every Friday at 6 p.m. Registration closes at 9:15, guys. It's starting stack of 20K, 20-minute levels. So if you like tournament poker, come and get some tournament bucks.
So I'm not sure if you have access to the YouTube chat as well, but got AJ giving you a shout out, Randy. AJ saying, Randy, when I go down there, I want you live with me.
Yeah, I've been itching for 2 months to jump on these stream games, guys. Just itching, salivating at my mouth. But I'm not a good player, so I just stay in the booth. Easier from this seat than it is from that seat.
Especially when you're able to see all the cards.
Oh, baby.
Straight draw, flush draw, 2 overcards for sale. And a pair.
I do want to thank all the players that made it out for tonight's game. We thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts, and we appreciate you guys choosing Texas Card House. Yeah, Sal smashing it.
So I think the 2 players that are involved here, because Michelle is still in the hand as well. So I think he's the one that's going to have to leave, and I think Sal who's going to win this hand because I saw him down at 20%. So I think those are the 2 players that are going to have to go back to the other 2-5 table.
Sal, Michelle, no, I think Sal played quite a bit of hands on these last 30 minutes.
I saw him down at 20% earlier. This is the cumulative win-ins. This is the player stack. You can see in the green how much they're up. Both players, 2 players at over $1,000, and then everybody else either losing or just with a small profit. So Smiley, the big winner there in seat number 5.
There it is right there. 82, 53.
Oh, it's the Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, it's going to be the Lincoln Lawyer and Michelle.
As of right now, I think we have 1 more hand maybe. Would that be enough to put him up over the 33 of Sal and Chaos? Yeah, so Sal was actually the bottom 2, but he played that last hand and it got him up. So the Lincoln Lawyer with the straddle, so that'll help his VPIP. And this is bringing everybody in.
Whoa, yeah. Let's see if anybody from the other table wants to call. That's the beauty of the VPIP game, though. They're not sitting around waiting for aces, kings, or queens. Any 2 will do at this point.
10 high flop with 2 hearts. Marty with the 9-4 of hearts. His flush draw is good. Sal flopping the 8s with the king kicker. Michelle also flopping the 8 with a better kicker. Lincoln Lawyer with a possible straight draw. Yeah, they just gave him the rack. It's going to be him and it's going to be Michelle. So it's going to be the 2 seats next to each other, seat 8 and 9. And we are still in this hand.
And I see one of the players they're bringing in. They're bringing in Justin G from Bronzeville or from Port Isabel. And I believe the Cajun Asian, Jandre, our resident dealer, and DGen.
So now Marty picking up a pair. So he actually turns the best hand here, even though it's a very straight
heavy board.
straight heavy board, but he does pair his 9 now, and he's going to continue it on. He was the initial razor pre-flop, I believe. No, it was limp pre-flop. He just came in for limp, but he did bet the flop, and he's betting again. Michel does have a straight draw with the jack, so I do see him calling. He has a pair and a straight draw, and Sal will let his cards go. So heads up to the river we go, $300 pot. And it's going to be a 9 for body. So he flopped the flush draw, goes runner, runner, trips. He's definitely going to bet this. I think maybe on the small side here to try to get a call from a 10.
Yeah.
He's got Michel on the 10, so maybe
110.
165.
Yeah,
so.
more than half pot.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a call.
He took a bluff line, and Michel called him.
Yeah, he's going to win the pot. The 9-4. So you could see seat number 10, excuse me, seat number 9, 9-handed table has already been replaced. And I think it's going to be seat 8 because his VPIP was the lowest. I think he's the one that's getting replaced. No, it was Sal. Is it Sal?
No, I think
seat 2 was Sal. And I don't think I see anybody in seat 2 right now. So, yeah. I think it was Sal. I think they... Yep. So, Sal the one getting replaced, excuse me. So, is it kind of like a tournament? Does he just take over the small blind, or does he have to post? It looks like he's just taking over the small blind here, right? So, seat 2, new. The Cajun Asian. And then seat 9, also new.
Justin G. New to the table, but not new to the stream. As
So
we started out today with new players, Ace Jack of Spades.
Gonna be at least 40?
No, he's playing. I mean, well, he's still stacking his chips from last hand, so.
Oh, Michel, here we go.
Yeah.
His range is very.
Commodity, he's not folding.
Yeah. Yeah, Michel just lost that last hand, so we'll see if this is a tilt raise or if he actually has a hand. With him, it could be any. I don't think the card reader has read it. There it is, 8-6 suited. Told you, it could be anything.
Out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Shout out.
LSU.
You got the Cajun Asian, who's out of Slidell, Louisiana.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He decided to rip that ace-7 of hearts right into the middle. I'm telling you, man, this VPIP game is out for blood today.
I think Marty's calling, right? Yeah, Marty calls. So the Cajun Asian in bad shape. So Marty has both these players dominated, has the spades of Michel dominated, and has the ace of Jandre dominated. So he is in really good shape here. It's 3 ways, so he does have the most equity right now at almost 50%. There will be a side pot.
Tom Hyland out in Florida. Shout out to you, buddy.
Florida, man.
Florida.
So seat 2 and seat 8 having to get lucky if they want to win this hand. So dealer making sure that everything. I'm pretty sure they're going on. I'm pretty sure Michel just runs. Yeah, Michel just runs it once.
Michel just outflopped the world.
And he gets rivered, right? The jack?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, the straight, the 7 for the straight. Wow.
7.
Jandre, the Cajun Asian. Getting extremely lucky, going runner, runner for straight.
The
And like I said, it
just kept running.
getting the high five from Tony Stacks.
That's a hell of a first hand.
You love to see it. The commodity, the community we have here, you know, everyone knows everyone. Everyone's, you know, friendly. There's friendly banter. It's a beautiful thing. I'm excited. I love that we brought the stream down to the RGB. I love that we're helping the valley grow, and just gotta love it.
One of three streams for Texas Card House. They have one in the Houston area. No. One of 4 streams, right? Yeah. So yeah. Houston.
Austin,
There's a
Houston,
stream in
and
Houston,
Dallas.
Houston, Austin, and Dallas. So basically
And
every part of the state. We're here in South Texas, Dallas, North Texas, Austin, Central Texas, and Houston, East Texas. So yeah, we're just missing West Texas, I guess. We're missing like
two locations in Houston, 2 locations in Dallas, and 1 in Austin. But stay tuned for the one in Austin. Right, they got big things coming.
Yeah, I heard that they're going to be moving like next door to a really, really nice location.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a boatload of tables, and I mean, I've heard nothing but good things. I'm excited. Can't wait. Go check that place out.
So this past weekend when I went up to Oklahoma for the WPT event in Choctaw, on my way back, I actually checked out the second location there in Dallas. I've been to the original location, so I did go to the one in Irvin, more specifically the Las Colinas.
Las Colinas.
Yep. So now the only one that I haven't actually played at is the Houston one. I played in spring. Played in Austin. I actually played in the original one in Austin, the original Texas Card House, which was actually on the south side. Yes. Mm-hmm. The little one, which was on the south side, the name of the street is Mancheca. In Spanish. However, in the Austin area, they call it Manchac. So that was the original one, and I actually played there. And when I do go for work up in Austin, I make sure to check out the Texas Card House, which is northwest of the Capitol. Pocket tens for Michelle here. He's got a real hand.
He just lost all his
chips with the and he's picking up a bunch of callers here.
Yeah, he picked up Doggy with a premium, 4-5, Chaos with another premium with 8-6 of diamonds, and Madi with the ace-9 offsuit. I'm telling you, man, this VPIP game, it gets those juices flowing.
And of course, the ace comes out.
Madi running hot tonight.
So a double gut shot here for Doggy. He's just gonna rip it all in. The pot's already big. It was basically a pot-sized bet that he made. So he bets the 345. Kind of puts Madi in a strange position here since his kicker isn't that great, but he is going to call, and Michelle's going to fold. So a deuce for a straight or a 6 for a straight. Double gut shot. The 4th time these players have tangled within 20 hands.
for stacks.
Yes, for stacks. There's a 6, so Madi drawn dead, and Doggy will finally get on the board.
Gets on the board, gets a W from his nemesis, and picks up a nice one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was $1,000 pot right there. He did kind of make the little suspect $100 call, but he knows
it's for the VPIP, my guy.
Exactly.
It's for the VPIP.
Yes. Some people do it for the gram. These people doing it for the VPIP.
Yeah, Time Highland. He's playing out at the Hard Rock in Tampa, in Florida. He's playing 25, 50, 100. Well, good luck to you, buddy. Good luck to you, man.
I've been to that card room. As well.
So have I. I like it. I like that card room.
Yeah, it's actually if you're coming from Orlando, it's actually right when you enter Tampa. So just over an hour drive, depending on where you're from in Orlando, and depending on the traffic. I mean, between an hour and 20. Real nice card room there at the Tampa Hard Rock. Straddle is on. Marty for the 10, and Smiley's not at his seat. So let me see. There he is. So the action will be on Adrian. So seat 7 there.
Yeah, seat 7 with the 3-4 of clubs.
Is he wearing pink shorts or pink pants?
I don't know. I tend to keep it above the table, my guy. He opens it to 25 with the 3-4 of clubs. Action folds around to Tony Stacks, who's in the hijack with pocket 4s, 2 red 4s to be exact. Makes the call.
The sale
Andre
votes.
got hit a little lick a little bit ago with the A7 of hearts. Decides to let it go, and action is on Doggy Baby with the big lick there, 9-6 or 6-9.
Playing the rush.
Three
Playing
bet
the
to
rush.
55.
Oh, he 3 bets it. Wow.
Yeah.
Really
But he does
playing the
have
rush.
a lot of history with Adrian, so I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back around to Adrian and Adrian just rips it.
Yeah, because Adrian doesn't have much in his stack. He's got 134 behind, so he pretty much either has to call or go all in.
Nope, he called. Adrian called. So we got Marty calling from under the gun with the Queen Jack offsuit, and Adrian making the call as well. Also, I didn't even see Smiley sneaking in there in the big blind. So, bunch of non-believers. Excuse me. Marty out
Marty
the world.
flopping the queen. Doggy flopping bottom pair, and Smiley flopping middle pair. Checked around the Doggy, and Smiley's going to put in the raise, which will make it interesting on Marty. I don't think he's folding top pair, especially with the size of the pot. Oh, wait. Is he 3-betting? So this is a great play by him. He checked. It got bet, raised, and he's put it into re-raise with the Queen Jack. Little hiccup there on the stream. Doggy has to let it go. Is it going to bring Smiley along? These are the 2 big winners of the night so far. Another 220 for Smiley to call. Oh, and Smiley's ripping it. Oh my gosh, these guys are playing above the rim here. And he immediately shows Marty saying, hey, I'm the chip leader. I'm the captain now. So good play by Marty, better play by Smiley. And he will get the pot shipped to him. Marty sensed weakness from the $40 bet, and he felt that Smiley also sensed the same weakness from the bet, and that's why Smiley raised. So he decided to raise Smiley, but Smiley was not having it. So continuing to grow his stack is Smiley. He is the big winner of the night so far, as we're 22 hands in, about an hour and 15 minutes into the stream. And it looks like we have a button straddle chaos there in seat 4, putting on the 10. So action will start with Smiley with the 4-5 suited, the natural 9. He's gonna call, just verifying that it is. It's actually 15. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Marty with the hand here, and you can see him and Smiley just got involved. Oh, he's just calling. Wow. So set in the trap, and looks like we have another new player at the table. They did replacement show after all. Is anybody going to raise here? I don't think anybody has anything to raise. So Marty set in the trap, just calling the straddle. Doesn't like that he's going 6 ways to a flop with aces. But nobody will ever put him on this hand. All right, Jack 10 deuce 2 spades. Big flop for Tony Stacks. As a matter of fact, you can see he actually has the most equity right now, flopping a pair and a flush draw. Marty with the 2 red aces. Not liking it, but he does have a good hand, so he is continuing on with it. This is going to have Adrian go all in. Adrian has straight draw. Adrian only has $114, so he figured the pot was big. I like a raise here from Tony Stacks to get it heads up with Adrian. So I'm thinking maybe around at least 300, maybe 350. How much does he have in a stack? Yeah, he does put in a raise, but it looks like a min raise to the 114. He's trying to get it heads up with Adrian here. Chaos with a gut shot straight draw. He'll fold. Smiley also folding, and I don't think that Marty will fold just quite yet. And he's re-raising to putting Tony Stacks all in, and Tony Stacks has to go with this. He flops a pair and a flush draw. Like I said, he has the most equity right now. He's 51% to win. Oh wait, he doesn't have a pair. I thought he had a pair. The reader's wrong. It's not a 10. It's an 8 of hearts. Okay, well, that makes sense on why Adrian would call, because he just had so much money in. So that makes sense. And that makes sense why Tony wouldn't snap call either, since he just has a flush draw. I guess he also does have a backdoor straight draw as well. So there will be a side pot, $1,500 pot here. Aces versus middle pair versus a flush draw. And it looks like a deuce. So the ace is still out in front, and it looks like the flush got there for Tony Stacks. Let me just make sure the card reader's right. No, I don't think the card reader's right, because Tony Stacks is not happy. So that's not a 9 of spades. As you can see, Tony Stacks getting up.
Wow. Hey, say it louder. Say it louder.
So I believe the aces is gonna win the hand here. Let's just verify. Like I said, it's not a 9, and the flop was already put up. So either way, that was not a 9 of spades. It might have been a 9, but it wasn't a 9 of spades, as Tony Stacks misses his flush draw.
I hit it on the turn.
So I know Tony Stacks is not rebuying, and I don't know if Adrian's rebuying. So we might have another 2 seats available here. Let's see if anybody's going to take the 7th seat there. Raise first in. Marty has been the one driving the action when he's in the pot. A lot of these guys are in at a small percent. Take, for example, seat 9, Justin hasn't played a hand. We also have a Chris in seat 3 who also hasn't played a hand. He just joined us as well. So this lineup constantly changing, as we basically lost half the table since we've started. They've either been subbed out or they have busted out. So Straddle on the button, Smiley. Marty will call. That's going to put the action on Justin with the King 9, and he's coming in for a raise. I'm pretty sure Justin knows about the VPIP. Doggy also calling, and his range has been pretty wide, and that continues with the 10-8 offsuit. Smiley might make the call, but no, it looks like he folded. I'm pretty sure the $10 strat already counted for his VPIP. And now Marty calling with the suited queen. King high out in front right now, and the flop will be jack high. So Justin with the bet and lead, it's going to get checked to him. He does have the best hand right now, and he will continue. Just under 200 in the pot, and he will bet half pot. No, more than half pot, 150. So a pretty big bet here, to be honest with you. And he really wants everybody to fold, and that's what happens. So Justin actually joining us tonight from South Padre Island, La Isla Bonita. So that's also in Cameron County. I know seat 3, the next county over, Cameron County. He's from there. The city of Edinburg, the county seat of Hidalgo County, which is one of the 4 counties making up the Rio Grande Valley here in South Texas. And looks like we have a straddle. That's what you want to do. You want a straddle that gets your VPIP up. And that's going to be John Dre with the straddle, which will put the action in seat number 3. Doggy with the 5 deuce. 52 cards in the deck. He's playing. Chaos also making the call with the ace 4 suited. I probably would have raised it there, me personally. And this is one of the reasons why it brings in a lot of people. I mean, granted, you have a good hand, but you have a lot of stuff to dodge. So 6 ways to the flop we go. Jack high, Jack 9-3. Smiley flopping the best hand with his 9. And now, no, Chaos will check. Smiley will bet the best hand. It's small. Should he bet there? So $60 pot, he bets 25. Chris calling with backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. He's out of the small blind too, so maybe one of those cards is wrong. Maybe a 3's a 4 or a deuce, because that'll make a little more sense. No? 4 deuce, so he needs a club. Does not get it. He will check. Smiley will bet. Chris with 410 left in his stack. No, he leads, so okay. That kind of makes sense. The 4 deuce was kind of a questionable call for me on the flop, but he did have a plan, and this was his plan, to bluff the turn. So he's bluffing the turn, and that's going to work. I was about to say, I don't know if Smiley's going to fold because he has a pair and he's the big winner of the night, but it worked. At first I thought that the reader was wrong, but it was me who was wrong. So hand 25 on this 2-5 stream on this Friday night, Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Let's see what we got here in the chat. Randy's stepping away, checking out the action on the table. We are on a 15-minute delay. So essentially whatever you're seeing right now, whatever you're watching on the screen, we are watching the same thing and doing the commentating. However, the players out on the main floor, they're 15 minutes ahead of us. So you basically see the action at the same time I see the action. 10-5 offsuit for Doggy, and he knows about the VPIP. I'm pretty sure he's not going to get voted off. That's probably the wrong word, voted off, but he's not going to have to leave the stream table and go to the secondary table. Chaos picking up a real hand here. The Jacks will bump it up to 60. That's a pretty big bet. And that's going to bring along Smiley with the suited queen, queen 9. Smiley, like I said, the big winner of the night. And I was about to say, I think that's going to get him heads up, but it does not. The 10-5 of Doggy making the call. I don't mind the $10 for the VPIP, but now you're getting into some scary territory. And the Queen 9 will flop a flush draw and top pair. Huge flop, and as a matter of fact, you could see it's basically 50-50. The Jacks with the overpair, Smiley with the pair and the flush draw. Smiley might even raise here. No, Chaos with a big bet. He bets 200. Smiley calling him with top pair and the flush draw. Going to be a very interesting turn here. I think a 10 would be a nice turn, like a 10 of diamonds. Okay, the turn is out. It is the ace. And it doesn't look like that's slowing down Chaos because he was reaching for chips. The action is on Chaos. So if he's up against the ace high flush draw, he's not worried about it because he is continuing on with his aggression. Now he's betting 400. So it's a $200 bet on the flop. Now it's a $400 bet. And he still has a good amount of chips behind. He did come in for a lot. Smiley only bought him for 500 and ran it up. Chaos buying in for 2,000. So Smiley needed a queen, a 9, or a spade, and he will get nothing. It's going to be hard for Chaos to fire again, and he finally does check. We'll see how much Smiley bets here. Smiley bet him 500. I don't think that's going to work. I think the pot's too big, and I think Chaos is not going to let go of his jacks. And that's exactly what happened. Chaos did not let go of the jacks. Was only really worried about the ace, but was getting a real good price. So he decided to look him up. And this big pot will go to Chaos. That was a nice sized pot. As it was 400 on the turn. So that's 800, 500 on the river. So that's 1,800 on the turn and river, 200. Yeah, so basically like a $2,000 pot there. Going towards Chaos. All right, there's the VPIP. And we got more new players. Well, we got one old player that came back. It looks like he changed his name. So we got Space Jam, who did not have the VPIP to stay at the table earlier. But that was the Lincoln Lawyer. The Lincoln Lawyer did not have the VPIP. Space Jam is going to have the VPIP. And then it looks like we have Big Fish joining the table as well. He took Tony Stack's seat there in seat 1. And it looks like Big Fish is at the table there. You could see an arm there in seat 1, and he chose not to buy the button, which, like I said, with this VPIP game, you basically got to be in on every hand. So I think the play there was to buy the button. All right, Space Jam coming in for a call, knowing he needs to keep the VPIP up. Justin in seat 9 has some suited cards, trying to keep the VPIP up. So the best hand right now is Queen 8 offsuit. Players really opening up their ranges with the VPIP being tracked. I believe that says 9 high flop, but I thought I saw an 8 if I'm not mistaken. No, it's 9 high. Yeah, 9 high flop. It goes checked around to Justin. I think I would have liked to see a bet there, but he's going to turn 2 pair. He had the worst 8. That was actually the case 8 that came out, as Doggy with the 8-6, Marty with the Queen 8, and Justin with the 8 deuce, turn in 2 pair. And that's going to lead to a bet from Doggy. Doggy turned an 8, bet the $40. Kind of like a raise here from Justin, just because it's starting to get a little scary, the board. Now there's 2 straight draws on there, and there's obviously a flush. John Dre has a gut shot. Does he have a gut shot? Does 6? Yeah, 6 makes him a straight. But he does decide to let it go. He also had the 7 of spades. And the river comes to spades. So Madi with the queen will win this pot. I don't see him folding, which is why I kind of liked the raise on the turn from Justin. So queen high flush. Madi will win the pot, add into a stack. And now the button will move to seat 2 since Big Fish did not buy the button. It'll move to seat 2. And he will get dealt his first hand. Seat 7, like I said, was in seat 9 earlier. His VPIP didn't cut it. The Lincoln Lawyer didn't cut it. So he went to the outer table, regrouped, changed his name, getting ready to jam, little Space Jam action. And the action will be under the gun Smiley. Today's big winner is straddling. And that's what you want to do since the VPIP is being kept track of. Very smart move to do. Plus it puts an extra $5 in there. So now if somebody wants to limp to kind of keep their VPIP up, they have to limp for $10 and not $5. Madi immediately comes in for a raise with the King Jack offsuit for 40. Justin calling with the ace. Big Fish looks like he's going to fold and does. John Dre with the Jack Deuce suited will make the fold. Doggy with the Queen 4 calling out of the small blind. He pretty sure he's going to have the highest VPIP just based upon the number of hands that we've seen. He did start off the table, but I think we only have like 3 players left who started off the table. So Doggy started with us, seat 5. Smiley, the big winner, started off with us. And Madi in seat 6, he started off with us. But everybody else, with the exception of seat 7, who started and then had to go down and then come back up. So queen high flop. And Doggy leads right out. Madi flopping top pair with a straight draw. Justin flopping a gut shot with a backdoor flush draw. The 6 coming. And Doggy continuing on, but it's a small bet. The pot's 270, and he's only betting 45. I could see a raise here from Madi. Sensing weakness from this small bet. And no, he just calls. I guess he's worried about Justin, who's behind him. And Justin's also going to call, looking for a jack for a straight. Queen or a 4 for the win for Doggy. Jack for the win for Justin. And it'll be a king giving trips to Madi and Doggy, who called with the Queen 4 pre-flop and has led every street. He's led for a small amount, and I think Madi's finally going to raise here. Looks like seat 4 there, Chaos, is putting some chips in the rack, but I don't think he's leaving. I think he's just coloring up. He's got a lot of red chips, so he wants to replace them with the bigger chips, green chips, black chips. So Madi raising here. And Doggy making the call. Madi played it very passive until the river. And Doggy calling because it was a very draw-heavy board. Like I said, any jack made a straight draw, and then clubs also made a flush draw. All right, little hiccup in the stream. So let's get the pot. There we go. So it could have very easily been a bluff there for Madi, who just had a jack and missed his straight, or had some clubs and missed his flush. So Doggy decided to keep him honest there. And at least in this case, this hand, Madi was honest. He's still stacking up the chips. We'll see if he puts on the straddle. Normally, I'm not a fan of the straddle, but when the VPIP is being keep track of. You basically have to straddle if you want to stay at the table. And he knows that. He puts out the straddle. That'll put the action on Space Jam. He's in for 545. And he will fold the 7-5 offsuit. Chris will be next. Justin. Just to make the call or make the raise. Big Fish taking the 4 deuce. Sees people limping in front of him. So he's gonna make the call, which normally it's a good to take this hand and be aggressive, but the problem is 2 seats to his left is Doggy, and he's been calling a lot. And then on top of that, he has the 4 deuce dominated with the 4-5. Normally the 4 deuce will be live, but it is not live in this case. He can only hit the deuce if he makes a pair. If he makes a 4, he's going to be out kicked. All right, so 4 ways to the flop. Chaos coming in with King Jack. He has the best hand right now, and I believe he was in the small blind. And he will flop middle pair, Ace, 5, Jack. If this is checked around the Big Fish, he's going to continue with his story. He does have a gut shot. I believe this pot is 145, and it is. And it looks like it was checked around to Doggy, and he's bet 50. Chaos calling him. And I think we're going to go heads up to a flop, so didn't give Big Fish, well, he didn't bluff it. I thought he would bluff it with the 3, but. So a Jack for Chaos, a 5 for Doggy, and now a deuce. So Doggy now picking up a straight draw, so he's not going anywhere if Chaos bets. Chaos makes it small. He doesn't like the ace, and he doesn't like all of the small cards to the wheel. The river will come the 8 of spades. Backdoor flush gets there. Nobody with spades. It'll go check, check, and the King Jack of Chaos will win the $345 pot. You can see the dealer pushing up the best 3 cards, the 3 cards that he's playing. He's playing the Jack for a pair of Jacks with a Ace, King, 8. That's his best 5 hands. All right, there's the VPIP. And Smiley is up there. I figured Doggy would be number 1, but Doggy's number 2. Big Fish has played 1 of 2 hands, and he's at 50%. So Chris at the bottom right now, along with Space Jam. And Space Jam's straddling because he's already been move tables earlier as he started the stream with us. They moved him to the outer table, moving him back here, and we'll see if he's able to stay here. Action will be on seat 8 for Chris, King 5 offsuit. He's probably going to fold that. He does. The GTO wizard, Justin. Looks like he made the call or made the raise. Doggy's going with it. He's got an ace. Big raise compared to what's in the pot. So Doggy will get the credit for playing this hand, so that does count towards his VPIP. He also won the hand, so that's also good. Didn't win a lot, but still can't go broke with small wins. All right, button straddle for Smiley. I don't think Chris is aware of the VPIP because he would have straddled if that was the case. But Smiley, who does have the highest VPIP, no, actually he's tied with Doggy now. So the action does start in the small blind. Space Jam making the call with the Queen 7 of clubs. Looks like Chris coming in for the raise there with the Ace Jack, making it 80. That's a That's a pretty big raise, but I do think you have to size a little bit bigger in this game, just because people want to play hands in general, but especially with the VPIP in effect. Here we go. Doggy going all in with 7 high. Just went all in last hand with ace-7, and he might have somewhere to be because he's going all in again. I think he's going to get looked up by Chris. Chris made it 80. He has 440 in his stack, so it's a good amount of his stack, but at the same time, he saw Doggy just go all in with the last hand with the ace-7 offsuit, and there's the 7 for Doggy. And I've been told the Doggy's actually all in blind, and he hits 2 pair. So Doggy was all in blind, got called by the ace-jack, and he is going to hit not only a 7, but a 6, just to be sure. Just in case if he was up against ace-king, he hit the 2 pair. So tough beat for Chris there. All right, back to the VPIP. Like I said, Doggy's going to stay up there. Space Jam and John Dre, who just sat down. John Dre with 11 hands. Space Jam with 5 hands, I believe. Big Fish with 4 hands, he's at 25%. And Chris with 5 hands, he's also at 25%. So those bottom 4, half of them will not be here in half an hour. Actually, in about 15 minutes, because they change out every half hour, and we're about an hour and 40 into our stream. So about another 20 minutes, and we'll get 2 new players, kind of a rotating door. Normally, you kind of want to have a little feel-out period when you're playing in general, and especially on a stream, but really gives nobody the opportunity to have the fill-out, filling out period, because you have to get involved early and often to keep that VPIP up. So kind of forcing the action, but does take you out of your comfort zone. And sometimes that's a good thing. So it looks like the straddle on the button, Madi, was straddle. Counts towards his VPIP. And then the action will be on the small blind. So it'll be Space Jam with the 9-10, puts it into the muck. Chris, who just lost the previous pot, is down to $133. He sees an ace, he goes all in. He sees an ace, goes all in. That's going to clear out some hands here. John Dre with the suited king. I think it's going to be too much for him to call. Maybe if he was last to act, he would call, especially since he essentially tripled up on his first hand. But he's going to fold, and Doggy for the 3rd straight hand. Rip City, baby. So we'll see if Chris is able to get immediate revenge or if Doggy gets lucky again. So both times Chris has been ahead, but it's essentially 60-40. And Chris doesn't want to hit his ace anymore as Doggy flops open-ended. And Doggy does not get there. So just the ace high is going to win. Jackson 4s, actually, there you go, and he pushed up to 4. So Jackson 4s with an ace kicker. So Chris gets his revenge. It's not as big a pot as he lost, but he is still in the game, and more importantly, that also counts towards his VPIP. So a lot of times, depending on the game, you take different strategies, different lines, and this game definitely falls into that, as the lowest 2 VPIPs voluntarily place money in the pot. So the blinds don't count because you're forced to put it in. But you can see Doggy up at 70%. Space Jam and John Dre, the bottom 2 right now, followed closely by Big Fish. And then that really helped out Chris that last hand. Like I said, One, he won, and two, it counted towards his VPIP. He was at 20% earlier. Now he's up at 33%. So no strato. Really think Big Fish should have strato to help that VPIP. He's got the 9-5, so he's going to fold it. No, he's calling. Even better, he's raising. Bumps it up to 20. And I don't think Doggy has folded a hand in the last hour. Smiley coming in with the suited queen, queen 5. Body with the jack 7 of diamonds. He's calling for sure. Space Jam on the button. Oh, here we go. He's got a hand. I like 120 here, especially with Doggy being so active. I like at least 120, maybe even 150. 1, 2, 3. So there's already 100 in the pot. So yeah, at least 120 this should be. Like I said, maybe even 150. It looks like it's going to be right at 120. The dealer, Ringo, counted it out, and it's 120. So makes it 100 more, and that'll put the action on seat 9. Oh, I didn't realize Justin also has ace king. So for sure you need a 4-bet here. And he'll do just that. Puts in the 4-bet. Here's the crazy part. Doggy has been playing so crazy, he might just go all in here, and he will have great equity against both ace kings, since the ace kings are sharing their outs. Oh, is he doing it? He's doing it. Oh my gosh. This is actually mathematically a great play, because both ace kings are sharing their outs. So you can see the equity. He's actually favored. He's favored right now to win the hand against ace king, and the reason why is because 2 players have ace king, which means his 4 and the deuce are live. So Space Jam doesn't like it here, and I think he might have to call it off, but how much does he have behind? I think he's going to get rid of it. So he's calling a 3-bet of Justin seat 9 for sure, but now the Doggy went all in. So he made it 120. Then Justin 4-betted it, because Big Fish was the one that started all this with raising the 20 under the gun with the 9-5. So the 3-bet by Space Jam to 120, the 4-bet from Justin to 320, and then Doggy, yeah, he called. So like I said, always once. They are running it once, and the 4 deuce has the most equity here. 38% chance to win. The ace and the king sharing each other's outs. The 4 deuce with 2 live cards here. And Doggy is really going to like this. I actually don't know if Doggy's seen his hand, because I know last time he was all in blind. So he might be all in blind. Yes, that's exactly what they're telling him. He's all like, hey. Okay, so the players revealing their cards, and let us see if a 4 or a deuce flops. No, a king flops. That's kind of boring, to be honest with you. So now Doggy in very bad shape, and the ace king's just going to wind up chopping this. But you saw when all the money went in, he was actually favored to win between the 3 hands. He was at 38% just because his cards were live, as they say, and he actually hit one of them. He did hit the deuce on the river, but the king came for the other 2 players. So a big chop for Space Jam and Justin, and I guess Doggy did have somewhere to go, because it doesn't look like he's rebuying. Went all in for like 5 straight hands, and they finally got him. We do have 2 2-5 tables tonight. 2 or 3. We have 2 for sure. because the second table is feeding into this feature table. There was a little side pot, and that's what that is that Justin's getting right now. There was a little side pot as Doggy had more chips than Space Jam, and there was a side pot between Justin and Doggy. So he will get the side pot. The main pot will get chopped.
I honestly thought you may have had one of them, and I'm like, when he does that, I'm like,
Check the chat real quick here.
Chewy. Who's getting up?
So right now, not only do we have the 2-5 going on, we have the $2,000 guarantee tournament, which is run every Friday at 6 and every Sunday. At Sundays at 2 o'clock. The Sunday tournament is at 2 o'clock. But right now, we also have the $20 $2,000 guarantee tournament running. $20 buy-in, $20 rebuys, $20 starting stack, $20-minute blind levels. You can do unlimited rebuys. A rebuys $20 get you 10,000 in chips, as long as it doesn't take you over 50K in chips.
no? Okay. I don't know.
All right, so we did have a replacement player, and it looks to be like El Chewy.
He announced it?
Let's see here. Let's see if it's the Chewy I'm thinking about. It is. So Chewy was actually on our Wednesday stream. He was playing Omaha. He was sitting in the 6th seat on Wednesday. And now he is back again on the stream. I'm not sure if Chewy knows about the VPIP game. But normally, if a player plays Omaha like he was on Wednesday, they like to see flops, so this works out really good for him. All right, an ace-king again. So Smiley with the raise, the 8-7 offsuit. Oh, did it get misread? Oh, wow, Justin's with queens. Justin just had the ace-king, and he is definitely going to bump this up. Yeah, it looks like John Dre was the low man on the totem pole for the VPIP. He did play his first hand, and I thought that was gonna kind of give him some gambling chips, but I guess not. He's gonna go back to the other 2-5 table, the non-stream table. Wow, Smiley calling this bet here. And it's going to be too much for the pocket fives. So big pot brewing between Justin and Smiley. Pocket queens versus 7-8 offsuit, $400 in the middle. 3 cards coming your way. Oh, it's an 8. Oh, wow. Smiley flopping so good here. He flops a pair with a straight draw, and he's all in. Justin checked in the dark. Smiley has 7s. Okay, well, he still has the straight draw on the pair. And he does not get there, so Justin with the queens. Justin with the queens will win this pot. Justin 3-bet and then check dark. Smiley flops open-ended, immediately moves all in, and Justin calls with the overpair. It's kind of funny if this hand plays out a little bit different where the ace comes on the turn, it might have slowed down the action, but they got all the money in on the flop. And Smiley, who was the big winner up until this point, is going to take a hit to his stack. So El Chewy has only seen one hand. He is at 0%. John Dre just got voted off. And I don't know if Big Fish is still here. I think Big Fish is still here. But John Dre with only 15% VPIP. Oh, wow, that was a huge pot. So Justin had a decent amount of chips. Justin had at least 1,000 in chips. And Smiley takes that hit. And he was only in for 500. He did run it up, but he did lose most of it.
They almost raised. They almost donked it. He re-raised.
So huge pot going to Justin there, and they're going to give him racks, but I'm pretty sure he's just going to be coloring up here. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. I don't think he's leaving unless if he was one of the ones with the low VPIP, but I don't think he was. So he's racking up all those red chips to get some green chips or black chips. Green chips to 25 variety, black chips to 100. You can see Chaos with an entire stack of black chips right up front there in seat 4. So that's 2,000 just in $100 chips, and we will have a dealer change. But make sure you do remember that, players, when you are playing, you always have to have the big chips up top or in front. You can see the black chips of Chaos in the front. You can see Marty has at least one black chip there. And the reason why is your big chips always have to be visible because the other players have to know how much you have in your stack. So they're going to be coloring up those 2 racks. So they will bring in either 2 stacks of green or 10 black chips. As Justin getting the color up. And we will see who takes seat 5. Oh, Baby Spider in the house, taking seat 2 there. He was with us on Wednesday, and he likes to see flops. So Chewy coming in for the limp. Marty with the pocket pair will be playing this. Will he raise? He is, making it 25. It says that he raised to 225, but obviously that got typed in wrong. That's 25. The ace-5 suited, I actually like a 3-bet from here. Justin continuing on with his heater. He had ace-king 2 hands ago, queens last hand, and now has the Jays, the Justins. He will make it 125. So I actually thought the ace-5 should have maybe 3-bet, but it turns out that it was the right move here because somebody with a hand behind his. So Chewy gonna be, oh, big fish with the kings. Big fish with the kings ripping it. So that should get the kings and the jacks heads up. Oh, it looks like we got one of the players back. So Chubbs was one of the first 2 to get voted off and kind of biding his time at the outside tables, and he's back. So 2 players that were voted off earlier are now back. Kings versus jacks. Big fish with the big lead. So the ace-5 of spades would have flopped very good here, but he's out of the hand. The river is the queen. So the kings will take this down. Kings versus jacks. I thought Justin was on a heater as he had ace-king, queens, and then jacks, but that 3rd time, the jacks running into kings here, so Justin losing about 440 there, and big fish will get all the green chips. So Chewy will be the big blind. And let's see if Chaos puts in the straddle. Big fish put it on the straddle. That's the right play. Putting in the straddle there. Now, if Chaos chooses to straddle, he does have priority, but Big Fish wants to keep that VPIP up. And looks like Chaos is straddling, so the $10 from Big Fish going to have to come back. And the action will be On Chubbs, he kept the same name, unlike Space Jam. Oh. And one of the cards flipping over. And normally that wouldn't be a misdeal, but since this is a stream table, it messes up the graphics that go into the system, so that is why it is a reshuffle. Normally, it's just the first 2 cards out. If those are exposed, then it's a misdeal. But since this is a stream table with the RFID chips and readers, it just really throws the software into a loop. So it looks like a 25 straddle, I believe. Marty probably gonna fold and does. Chris with the 4-5 offsuit. Big Fish. He might raise his hand. He sees 2 limps in front of him and a straddle. So there's already 75 in there. He's calling for sure, but I like a raise here. And he just calls. And Chaos. So Chaos with the exact same hand as Big Fish, but he's playing it more aggressive. That's the great thing about poker, that there's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah, Chris isn't going to be able to call, and Justin is also not going to be able to call here. I'm pretty sure Big Fish will take this pot in position, which in theory should be a chop. But if Chaos continues on with this aggression, it might not be. A Big Fish folded? Oh, wow, okay. So the aggression really paying off there for Chaos as he gets the same hand he has to fold. And he takes on the pot, and it was a good-sized pot. He straddled to 25. There was 3 callers for the 25. So he picked up $75 right now without having to see any cards. So Chubbs with the straddle. I'm surprised every player is not straddling since it counts towards your VPIP. Action will be on seat 6, Marty. 5 deuce offsuit. That'll go into muck. So Space Jam, let's see what he has. And Space Jam folding. Chris folding. Justin will be at least calling, probably raising. Raises 60. Actually, pretty big raise here. But El Chewy with the suited King 9 will come in. So King 9 suited for Chewy. Does have a worse king. The ace comes out, which will probably slow down the action here. A little lag. A little lag in here. Let's see what we got. Oh, ace 8. So if it's checked to Justin, I see Justin bet in here. He was a pre-flop aggressor, and he does bet. And Chewy's not going to be able to call, so Justin will take down the hand. He did have the best hand. Granted, nobody had a pair, but he did have the best hand.
Bro, they should do that. Like, not do the VPIP right, but like, do it.
Okay, a little bit of a lag.
And the person that had like the lowest VPIP.
All right, a little bit of a lag, but the good thing is we're not involved in a hand right now currently, so we'll get it straightened out. There we go. And there's the under the gun straddle, which will put the action on Space Jam. Big Fish with just the call, 10-7 offsuit, and I think Spider's gonna play this hand aggressive. He sees the call from Big Fish and sees that there's extra dead money out there, so he's gonna put his foot on the gas here.
I've been here 20 minutes. I was up a grand. I'm like, I don't want to go back there.
Still a little lagging. I don't think Marty's thinking about calling. And big fish.
I mean, it hasn't been steady. Periodic.
Oh, Marty made the call from under the gun. So he had the $10 strato out there, and he just thinks his cards are live.
Oh, like you didn't make a big hand.
I had pocket jack.
Flop coming jack high. Nobody with a pair. And it's going to check to the pre-flop aggressor, Spider. Baby Spider should take down this pot. There's the fold, and Big Fish should be folding as well. And yeah, he does. He does make the fold, so Baby Spider pretty much winning with just pure aggression there. Did not have a good hand, did not flop a good hand, but he just kept betting. Sometimes that gets the job done, as you see there. And now it looks like the players are fighting the straddle. They know about the VPIP, so they're fighting the straddle. The priority does go to under the gun. Priority does go to under the gun. So the dealer informing Chaos that the under the gun straddle is live. He will pull back the 10. And we will have action on seat 8. Chris with the 10 deuce folding it. Justin with the, not sure if he folded, but Big Fish should come in for a raise here. And he does, but it's a small raise. Spider with the ace, making the call. Chaos also with the ace, making the call. Chubbs with the 4-3 is going to play this, getting a good price. And that'll bring Space Jam in with the ace. So right now, Big Fish having the most equity, 42%. The aces all sharing outs. The flop will come 9 high. So Chaos with the ace 9, which was actually the best ace between all of them, will take the lead. The ace 7 also flopping a pair, but that's going to put him in bad shape because his ace is no longer live. Checked around the Chaos, 130 in the pot. He's going to bet 100, I believe. Now he bets 125, so almost a pot-sized bet here from Chaos. I just realized that Spider also hit a pair with the 5. So every ace hit in a pair, and it is the best ace that'll take down the pot. Tomorrow, we have our deep stack tournament coming up. Let's see here. Just checking the chat real quick. All right, I think word got down to Chris because he puts on the straddle here, saying, "Hey, you guys need to put on a straddle because that's going to help out your VPIP." Action will be on Justin. I just think he's going to fold here. It's Queen 4. It's suited, but he's first to act. Spider with the King 9 of clubs should be coming in for a raise here, probably at least 40. And he makes it 40. El Chewy with the suited Jack 9 comes along. Chaos is going to fold. Yes, he does. That puts the action on Chubbs, who makes the fold. Marty probably getting rid of the 10-6. I did kind of see him get a little loose earlier. And he is going to get really loose here. 10-6 offsuit, putting in the 3-bet. I don't think that's going to get rid of Spider. I don't think that's going to get rid of Baby Spider. He knows he's going to have position on Marty. And then Chewy. Did Chewy say all in? No. Chewy just called. So Mighty getting a little creative with the 10-4. He felt like he could get Spider and Chewy to fold, but those are probably the two players that are least likely to fold pre-flop. King high flop. So Baby Spider with the best hand. Does Madi continue his story? There's 525 in the pot. It looks like he's going to bet about 185. He bets 190. This is not going to work, as Baby Spider will make the call. Chewy's going to have to fold. And I'm pretty sure Madi's going to shut it down unless if he catches a 10 or a 6. The pot almost $1,000. And it is an ace. Will Madi represent the ace? I don't think he is, but I've seen stranger things. The action's on him. So is he going to give up? Or is he going to continue with his bluff? I think it would have to be a pretty big bet for Spider to fold. It's going to have to be at least a $500 bet for Baby Spider to fold. And Madi. Madi bet at 350. This is not going to work. Baby Spider's going to call. And there's the call. So this pot, 1605 in the pot. And now the 6 coming. Madi finally makes a pair, but it is no good. And will he empty the clip? No, he finally gives up. And Baby Spider checks behind as well, knowing he has showdown value. Kind of interested if he doesn't pair up. The 6 gave him a little bit of showdown value. I think he was already going to give up, but then once the 6 came, it gave him showdown value for sure. So he decided to take that showdown value, and it wasn't good as Baby Spider wins that $1,600 pot. Straddle back on. Seat 9, Justin with the straddle, which will put the action on seat 1. Big Fish. You can see the raise first in stat. Let's see. Okay. I was going to say, let's see how long the card reader takes to pick it up, but pretty much picked it up right away. I think Big Fish is going to fold here. He's going to raise. No, he's just going to call. He wants to keep the VPIP up, which I understand. Chubb's calling with the Jack-8. And now it'll be on Justin, and this is a good spot to raise here. His size is a little on the small side, I think. Should have sized this up a little bit more considering the number of players that you have. But it looks like it might work here, and it does. No, Big Fish called him with the worst king. And a king comes, so Big Fish is in trouble here. Goes check, check. Justin getting a little bit tricky. Big Fish getting bailed out. So Justin getting tricky. He thinks he has the best hand right now, and he normally would. But Big Fish hit into 2 pair. He still has outs. A jack will make him a straight. A queen will make him a better 2 pair. A 9 or a 6 would be disastrous for him, as it'll give him 2 pair as well. But Big Fish would have the king 10. And the river comes a 10. So that's actually also a bad card for him, because Big Fish should be able to get in at least $200 of value here. Going runner, runner 10. He does not put him on the 10. So Big Fish should bet here 200. That's exactly what he bets. And he gets a snap call, and he's going to see the bad news. But that was a great bet by Big Fish. Bet into 200. Gave him the exact right price to call. And he didn't even think about it. He said, hey, I have a king with a queen kicker. The chances that you went runner, runner are very slim. And it turns out that that's exactly what happened. He went runner, runner for the 10 for the full house. So button straddle on. We'll see if Big Fish puts on his under the gun straddle to remove the button straddle, but it doesn't look like he's going to.
I remember, I'll never forget this. My partner had a game. Jason, the lawyer.
Yeah.
I remember like me and him used to battle all the time. Like I would get him, he would get me, and I started getting him for a while, and he started like, bro, it's easy to play against you. It's like,
So Ace Jack, Baby Spider, be coming in for a raise here. Should be at least 50 bucks, and it's exactly $50. And Chewy calling with the King 6 of Hearts. Chubbs getting rid of the Baby Ace. Marty with the Queen 7 offsuit should fold. Space Jam, I think, is going to complete. He's getting a real good price on his money, but he actually folds. Christie makes the call with Jack 9 offsuit, and he does not want to hit the Jack, as Baby Spider has the Ace Jack.
oh no. No, I like when people like guess the hands a lot. Yeah. Eventually they're gonna get it right.
And I said that he doesn't want to hit the Jack. He hit the Jack, and it gets him in trouble. Baby Spider with the immediate call. Yeah, so Chris in really bad shape here. Could go runner straight. 3, looks like a deuce on the river, so the ace kicker will play. Jacks induces with an ace kicker. So Spider, Baby Spider with the win. Like I said, Chris did not want to hit a Jack, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm not sure if he's going to rebuy. So somebody in the chat wanted to see Chewy and Big Fish in a cage match. Yeah, those are two big boys there. Heavyweight action. So tomorrow and every Saturday in the month of May here at the Texas Card House, we have Deep Stack Saturdays. It's a $5,000 guaranteed prize pool, $2,000 of that guaranteed for first place. $200 spender. It does start at 2 o'clock. Keep in mind it is the weekend. So normally the tournament starts at 6. This one is starting at 2 p.m. $200 buy-in, 50K starting set. Deep stack 30-minute levels every Saturday here at Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, RGV. Space Jam with the deuces. Justin making the raise out of the small blind. Baby Spider makes the call, and the deuces should be making the call here. Hoping to hit a deuce on the flop. Flop coming king high. I think Justin might see bet, or does he check? Justin checks. Checked around. 5 of diamonds on the turn. Basically, the first person who bets should win this pot, and Justin puts in a little $50 bet here. So he bet in basically a quarter of the pot. And that's gonna, nope, Spider called him. Oh, Spider has an 8. Yeah, so he's calling for sure. Does not want the ace. Yeah. Spider's gonna call like any bet up to 200, I would say. And Justin finally shuts it down. I think maybe Spider's just gonna take his 8 to showdown, and it will be good. It goes check, check. Yeah, sometimes on the river there, your hand will have showdown value. And then sometimes you can also go for thin value. So Baby Spider choosing not to go for the thin value, just choosing to use his showdown value, because essentially the only thing to beat him there was the king. The 10s were on the board, which makes it a lot less likely for Justin to have a 10, especially once Justin checked the river. So Baby Spider only worried about the king there and just decided to take a showdown value, and it is good. El Chewy first to act. He only has 105 in his stack, so this is a little bit awkward here. And somebody acting out of turn. So he's just going to call. He definitely wants somebody to raise here so he can back raise. And I think Madi's going to be his customer. Madi's going to make it to probably 40, 35. So Chewy's definitely going to go all in, and it should be a race between the two. Yeah, Chewy just limped. He had too small of a stack to like make a raise, and Madi going to make the call. He's actually out in front, 52% to 48%. Chewy kind of wants to see a paired board here because it gives him even more outs. Well, Chewy actually wants to hit an ace or queen, but if he doesn't hit an ace or queen, he wants to see a paired board because even like a 5-5-6 board gives him a lot more outs because if another 6 comes, it'll be 2 pair versus 2 pair. Oh, he has a gut shot for the jack. A jack makes a gut shot. King, 10, jack, ace, queen. And there it is. He makes the nuts on the turn. It's his queen for good measure. So El Chewy will double up. At a very awkward stack size, the blinds are 2-5, only had 105. So you don't want to just open rip first to act $105. And you do want to raise, but if you're raising, you're pretty much committed a good percentage of your stack. So he decided to limp and then do the back raise. And that's exactly what happened as it worked out in his favor. Bud and straddle for Big Fish, but I know Chaos put out a 25 last time. And no, it looks like he's going to let Big Fish have his straddle this time. No, Chaos said, you can't have my straddle. I want the VPIP in my favor. So Chaos in the straddle with the King 10. Looks like it's folding around the Big Fish on the button. And Big Fish with an ace is going to fold it. Wow, that's playing very tight there. Chaos taking his quick 10 and raising. He actually has position on everybody somehow. But Chewy's not going to give up his 4s. So Chewy has the best hand right now, but if he doesn't hit a 4, it's going to be hard for him to continue. Chaos, the pre-flop aggressor, can almost guarantee he's going to bet most flops. I think maybe he doesn't bet an ace flop. And he makes a pair, so he's going to bet for sure here. Chewy's going to check. Chaos bet at $50, make it a pair. It's not top pair, so sizing down a bit. It's going to get the job done. So tomorrow, Deep Stack Tournament at 2 o'clock. Tonight, we got Ladies Night. Ladies play for free every Friday here at Texas Card House. So this is a social club, a membership club, as are all Texas Card Houses. You do have to be a member. You can either buy a daily membership, a monthly membership, or a yearly membership. Then on top of that, for you to basically be in the building, it is $12 an hour. There are other activities here. Take, for example, you can play pool. There's a lot of TV set up just to watch the game. There's a bar area set up that has drink specials. And it's $12 an hour on top of your membership fee. But ladies, there is no hourly rate for you on Fridays. Every Friday, a ladies' night. Let's see here real quick. There we go. So it looks like somebody raising. Madi raising with the Queen 4 and Justin 3-betting him. Madi making it 20, Justin making it 60 in position. So Justin with the lead right now is gonna c-bet if it's checked to him. He's probably gonna down bet here. Probably like a 40. So it goes checked. He's getting down, but it'll be 40 or 50, I would imagine. That's what the GTO says. Oh, 125. Okay.
So one
Guess he read a different book than me.
makes a choice to one.
Yeah, 125 there. He said, hey, I don't think you have a 10. I don't think you can call a bet here. And it looks like we got somebody to take Chris's seat there, seat 8. And it looks like it was another player from our Omaha game on Wednesday taking that seat. So MG in seat 8 is going to be his first hand. The action will be on seat 7, Space Jam. Space Jam, Queen 6 offsuit. That'll be in the muck. Big Fish with the aces. He had kings earlier, and now he has aces. Maybe 50. Should be at least 40. I could see him limping here because he does like to get tricky with stuff, but no, he's going to be raising. Makes it 35 on the small side. There was a strato, so definitely on the small side. Immediately brings in Baby Spider with the 4-5. Chewy comes in as well.
When he started it, he was only had about 240. So by the time he got
I actually like a smaller, either a limp or a bigger raise in that position.
because he was on a mission to either lose it or get hit a grand and got before he went to eat. So for him, it was like playing a hand of blackjack. He just throwing. Yeah.
Will the aces hold up?
$100 bill or $500. I think he had a Rolex, right?
Jack 4-8 on the flop. Chewy flopping an 8. Spider with 4. I like a check here from Big Fish.
I just couldn't catch anything as he was doing.
And he's going to lead right out. He only bet 60. So you can see the pot was 180, so he bets a third of the pot. And looks like Chewy's going to come along with his 8. And a gut shot for Marty with a 7. A gut shot for MG with a 9. So I believe seat 8 there was on our stream on Wednesday. Had a different name. Didn't have luck with the name, so changing up the name here. The ace is still out in front. Needs to dodge a 7, a 9, or an 8. And it's a deuce. So he definitely needs to size it up here with the amount of people that are in the pot. It's $400. I don't even mind a pot size bet here considering his stack size. Well, actually I thought he had more, but Marty, he bets he bets 300. Yeah, so he did size it up. And that should clear out everybody here. Did Marty pick up a double gut shot? A 3 makes a straight for him now? A 3 or 7? Yeah, he picked up a double gut shot. That's why he's thinking about it here. He has 1,600 in his stack. I think it might be too big of a bet for him to call. Big Fish did size it up on the turn. So 3 makes a straight, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 7 makes a straight, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he finally makes the fold. I think it's going to be too much for MG, and it is. So Big Fish had kings earlier and got it all in against jacks, won that. This time he has aces. Plays it a little slow pre-flop. So the straddle is on from Space Jam. So this 2-5 is basically turned into a 5-10 game because basically everybody's straddling. All right, there's the VPIP, Space Jam and Chubbs. Both of them were voted off earlier, and both of them were on the bottom of the list again. Action will be on MG. Gonna have to toss that bad ace. Big fish. Oh, El Chewy with the aces now. And I think he's gonna get action here from Chaos. The King Queen is suited. If the King Queen wasn't suited, Chaos would probably fold. But it is suited. He's on the button, and he's folding. He did think about it, though. So El Chewy with a little bit too much chips. Oh, Marty might call, thinking that El Chewy's just making a move with some big cards, and that's half true. He does have big cards, but both of them match. So aces versus sevens, Marty can hit clubs for a flush. 10 for a straight. Looks like the reader's in front. No, an 8 for a straight, excuse me. Wow, so Chaos would have had a straight flush. Chaos would have had a straight flush. He had King, Queen of diamonds. You saw he thought about calling, and he would have had a straight flush to crack the aces. Chewy just had a little too much money. Chewy went all in for 170. If it was 100 for sure, he's calling with the King, Queen. But Chewy had a little bit too much in chips, and that gets the King, Queen to fold, and he would have hit a straight flush. Kind of crazy there. So rare to see. So like I said, this 2-5 basically turned it into a 5-10 with everybody pretty much straddling, trying to keep up their VPIP. El Chewy right now in the lead, and Chubbs and Space Jam bringing up the rear. So the action will be in seat 9, Justin.
Also the Hawks. Straight up.
Big Fish trying to keep up his VPIP. Will make the raise, makes the min raise. Chewy picking up another pocket pair, making the call. Chaos is going to be at least calling, and does. Chubbs will fold. Marty, I can see him put it in a 3-bet here. He's been 3-betting a lot out of the small blind and big blind. This time he does have a hand. The last time I think he had like 10-6, was just really getting out of the line. This time he's more in line, and this might work as it's 125. Chewy might call with his 6s, but that's the only player I can see calling. And that's what he does. He calls with the 6s. It's going to be hard for him to proceed here, because he essentially has to hit a 6 to feel good about his hand. The 7-6 of Big Fish was folded earlier. So I could very easily see Marty winning this with just aggression. The only thing he has to watch out for is Chewy just has $200 behind. So it's going to be hard for him to bluff Chewy. So he's going to have to get a good board in. Well, get a good board or make top pair. So he makes top pair. He's going to put Chewy all in here. Chewy just has 200. No, he just bet 60. He flops top pair. He's going to try to melt Chewy here. Chewy might just call, get in a real good price. He does have backdoor flush draws.
What do you think he would order? You working?
Let's see what happens here. Very small bet from Marty, trying to bring Chewy in. But it looks like Chewy has had enough. Like I said, it would have been hard for Chewy to proceed in the hand with his stack size and not hitting a 6, and that's exactly what happened. He didn't hit a 6, and I think Marty was pretty much betting anything that came out on the flop. He did size down because he hit top pair. I think that's why he sized down there, but he will put on the button straddle. Let's see if it gets taken away from him. No, it looks like Marty's just going to have the straddle here. That'll put the action on Space Jam. It's got the Cactus Jack UT hat on. does make the call. Brings on Baby Spider. Action folded to Chubbs. He's going to be raising here, I think. He's going to take the 7-4, playing it aggressive. Makes it 50. I would have liked it 60, considering that there is a caller in between. But he does make it 50. I'm pretty sure Baby Spider's going to call. Looks like Space Jam's going to call as well. Yeah, Space Jam calls and Baby Spider folds. So I don't think Chubbs was getting away from that. If Space Jam folded, I think Baby Spider would have called. Space Jam's going to check. Chubbs, who did flop a pair, is going to put in a small bet here and get the immediate fold from Space Jam. It's funny because Chubbs is actually wearing a Space Jam shirt. So, not sure what's going on there.
I think somebody threw something late. There was no rocks bouncing.
There's no trader or anything?
All right, looks like Big Fish put it on the straddle as we are 50 hands into today's stream. You have Space Jam that's still on the bottom there of the VPIP. Mighty top right now. A double straddle. So Baby Spider with the double straddle. El Chewy will fold. No. Is he calling or folding? Yeah, he folds. I thought he was folding. Folded around his body, 5-6. He's going to fold. Space Jam, I like a raise here since the double straddle is out to kind of get heads up in position. He just calls, though, and that's going to bring along the Jack-9 offsuit. And it might even bring in Big Fish since he's suited here, another $10. And the option will be checked from Spider. Like I said, I would have liked to see a raise there from Space Jam, but he just calls. Let's see what happens on the flop as it comes queen high. So Space Jam flopping top pair and open-ended for Justin with the Jack-9. Now Justin hit in a 9. So a pair and a straight draw for Justin. He's going to lead. The same straight draw for Space Jam. So only a $25 bet. It does clear everybody else out with the exception of Space Jam. The river will be a 9. Wow. Justin getting really lucky here. Big Fish did this earlier where he went runner-runner trips. Well, he actually did runner-runner boat. But Justin here with runner-runner trips was going for the straight draw and winds up hitting trips, which is going to be good. He was in terrible shape. He couldn't hit a jack because that would have given Space Jam a better 2-pair. Space Jam's going to call this, and he does, and he sees the bad news. That's why I said I would have liked to see a raise from Space Jam just to clear out some of these other hands that shouldn't have been in there. But he just called on the button. It was a double straddle. Baby Spider in C2 had the double straddle on for 20. Big Fish put in the regular straddle for 10. Justin was in for 5. He had to call another 15 with the Jack-9. Calls it and gets there on the river. So Baby Spider had the double straddle. I see him put it on a regular straddle, and he does. Ashley goes by Ash Cash in the box. Still waiting for the blinds to be out there. There's the small blind, the $2. Big Fish with the $5. And off we go under the gun. First to act, El Chewy with the Ace-King. Is he going to limp? Is he going to raise? He's going to limp. 100% put in the back raise, hoping somebody raises. But does anybody pick up a hand to raise? Queen 9's probably just going to call. King Jack, Big Fish just calling. So keeping himself out of trouble for now. If a king comes on the flop, well, he's going to get in trouble. So Ace King versus King Jack versus Queen 9 versus 10-5 of Baby Spider. Keep in mind, it was a straddle pot. That's why Baby Spider's in here. And the flop will be 8 high. So nobody flops anything. And Chewy will c-bet, figuring that nobody hit anything, and he is correct. I think this is going to clear everybody out. So it was 50 in the pot. Chewy bets 35. Nobody hits anything, and he will take it down. Chewy represented Mission, Texas tonight. This is next card house here in Edinburg, which is kind of north, central. So basically like in the center of the county, a little bit north, and then just south of the city of Farr, then west of that's the city of McAllen, and west of that, city of Mission. A lot of citrus in Mission. Nobody with a straddle this hand, as the action will be on Chewy. Chewy having an ace, gonna limp. Fold it around to Marty. Could see him getting creative here, and he does. Takes a suited card, makes it 20. Justin's gonna be calling with the queen, jack of hearts, and he actually raises. This is the GTO move. He does have a GTO wizard patch on his shirt. But taking this hand and making it a 3-bet, and even if he get called, you will have position all of the hand. And he does get a call, so Marty does not want to see hearts. 10-3 versus queen jack of hearts. Wow. Marty flopping a pair and a flush draw. Justin flopping a straight with a flush draw. This pot is going to get big fast. Marty checks. Justin needs to bet here. He does bet. I could see Marty raising here. Cards on the table. We're both showing hearts. Risking it all. No, Marty just calls. If a heart comes, it's going to be disastrous. So the straight getting better for Justin, and he's going to fire again. So 280. I could see a chunky bet here, at least 200. At least 200, maybe even 300. Somewhere between 200 and 300 is, I think, is what he's going to bet. The ace actually helping his hand, because he's hoping that Marty has an ace here. So he bets 150, and Marty is going to continue on here with his pair of flush draw. Or I think he's going to continue on. He's thinking about it. Actually, Marty does not like the ace. He's pretty sure. Well, as a matter of fact, he thinks his flush draw is good, which is why he's probably going to call. Oh my God, he raises. So he's representing the ace, which is why I said that the ace was a good card for Justin, because I thought Marty would try to represent it, and that's exactly what he's doing. So Justin is going to put in the 3-bet here. No, he just calls. Wow, this is setting up real nice for him, because if Marty misses, he's going to bluff, and if a heart comes, he's going to think he has the best hand. So no heart. The only thing that can save him is the board pairing should save him some money. Other than that, it's going to be bad. Oh, wow. All the money's going in here. Marty has 1,000, Justin has 1,600, and all the money's going in. Or all the money should go in. I could see Marty just open ripping it here. Marty knows that Justin is strong because he called his raise on the turn. So that's going to allow him to size it up here. Only betting 275. Wow. Is Justin scared of the ace-high flush? I don't think he is. He goes all in. Marty's calling. There it is. All the money went all in, like I said, folks. And it's going to be a bad beat for Marty. Both players flopping ridiculous. I said once we saw the flop, this pot will balloon, and that's exactly what happened. Sometimes the cards just play themselves, and that's what happened in this hand. One player flopping a pair and a flush draw, the other player flopping a straight to go along with the flush. Both players hitting the flush. Justin with a huge win here, winning an over $3,000 pot. As we're up to 99 viewers. Nice.
Bro, I told Santa that we need to go buy some property. No, I'm saying for like Airbnb. Yeah, like people are gonna be staying there and shit. But they're not gonna. That's not gonna pass anytime soon. Oh really? He kind of hit himself.
All right, so got a comment from River Rat here. TCH commentators, thank you for live streaming here in the RGV. There's a huge poker community here at our TCH location in RGV. I'm a regular player here. We love you guys. Well, thank you for the love, River Rat. And something that I always say, I actually do travel a lot, but I do know that the RGV is not known. Basically, nobody knows. And this is kind of true for even in Texas, but basically nobody knows anything south of San Antonio, which is fine. But it is a really big area down here. There's just not one huge city. A lot of areas will have like a huge city. Take, for example, Harris County. Well, Harris County is basically Houston. That's a monster city. San Antonio, that's Bexar County, monster city. Well, there is no monster city here, but there's a lot of good-sized cities. There's a lot of big towns in the area. There's the city of Brownsville, which is the largest city in the area, and they're probably close to 200,000. City of McAllen has at least 150, and then the city of Edinburg here has 100,000. City of Farr, between us and McAllen, with another 100,000. And then next to the city of McAllen, you have Mission, which is also at about 100,000. So altogether, the county, just the county down here, is I want to say like 850,000. And the area down here, like I said, is the Rio Grande Valley. It's 4 different counties, so the population over 2 million just on this side of. All right, back to the action we go. Big, huge pot for Justin there, and that's going to make him the big winner of the night. So previously, the big winner was Smiley, and Justin winning a huge pot off of him. The second biggest winner up until that point was Marty, and then he also gets him. So the 2 big winners before Justin sits down, he gets both of them in huge pots. And that's why he has such a big stack.
This is 9.
9 plus 5.
9's good. 9 plus 5, whatever.
All right, ace 8, 3, 2 clubs on the flop. Justin continuing on, and he also has the ace of clubs. Is that right? Is this pot that big? Yeah, there's a bunch of black and green chips there. So Spider gonna try to outplay Justin here. Spider checks. So I think Spider's going to try to represent the flush here, but it's not going to work because Justin has the ace of clubs. But I kind of missed the action before that as I was checking the comments. But I think Spider tried to make a move. Justin, being the big winner tonight, played his rush and won it. So it looks like Chubbs will straddle. And Marty losing the big pot, double straddling, wants to play big pots now. Sometimes you're fine just kind of playing the small ball and kind of nickel and diamond it here and there, but in general, everybody likes to play big pots, and one of the ways to play big pots is to put on a double straddle. That's exactly what Marty does here, as Big Fish making sure that the card reader sees his cards. Ace Queen, Baby Spider should raise at least 60 here, I would say. And that's exactly what he raises, 60. El Chewy gonna have to give it up. Chaos with the suited ace makes the call. I think this is gonna bring Chubbs along with the suited jack, and Marty has the suited king. He's coming along too. So pretty big pot here. We got about 250 in the pot, 242 to be exact, as we go 4 ways to a flop here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. The flop, 2 hearts and a 4. So Chubbs flopping a flush draw, Marty flopping a pair. And it looks like everybody's going to check to the initial raiser, Baby Spider. Is Spider going to slow down? No, he's not. Baby Spider has the ace of hearts. So that is a blocker to the flush. I think this is one of the reasons why he bet. And Chaos also hitting a 4. Both Chaos and Marty hitting a 4. Chubbs might go with it here. The pot's really big here. Chubb has 600 in his hand. The pot's already 450, and yes, he's going with it. He announces all in. Yep, that's exactly what happened. The pot was already big. He actually has two overcards or 2 live cards as well. So a real good spot for him. He thought that his flush draw was good, but his jack and 7 are also good. So it gives him a lot of equity, and now he's going to have 100% equity that everybody folded. So nice play there by Chubbs, check raising his flush draw. Like I said, the pot was 242 pre-flop. The C-bet from Baby Spider, along with the call, built it up to about 700. And then Chubbs saw that money, was pretty sure his flush draw was good, went with it, and took it down. All right, the VPIP. Space Jam still on the bottom end. And our new player, MG, he is the lowest right now at 22%, but he's been dealt the least amount of hands. You can see he's only been dealt 9 hands. Marty, who's been here from the beginning, has been dealt 52 hands, and this is hand 55. I think he was away from the table for a couple of hands.
Like the other day, I was thinking,
Space Jam probably folding here.
there's some big guys on that courtside seat. I'm like, bro, it's so uncomfortable, right? Because I was like, I've done over there at the like the Vipers game, and I feel so.
Okay, a little laggy here. Big Fish.
And they were uncomfortable. Like you could see that.
Big Fish, it's $10. So let him know it's $10. Just comes in for a limp. Chaos out of the small blind. Looks like he's going to complete with the Queen 6 offsuit. And I thought Chubbs might have bluffed this hand, but doesn't. Looks like Marty's adding on to his stack. That's what he's just confirming with the dealer.
They look like they're like this too. And I was like, or like they were doing the same thing. I was
About
like,
3 hours.
where you sit forward,
About 3 hours into the stream. So have just over an hour to go as 2 hearts come out on the board. Big Fish flopping the 8. He should be betting here if it's checked to him. All right, it's checked to him, and he does bet. Very small bet, only 15 bucks. It's going to clear everybody out. So there you go. It was 4 ways to the flop, so there was a $10 strato, so $40 pot, bets $15. That'll get the job done. And Chaos putting on the button straddle.
The last time we took the top of the doors off was we did the room out the channel.
Thanks, Ash.
All right, dealer change. While they have the dealer change, I'd like to remind everybody about the early bird special that we have for the month of May here at the Texas Card House. The doors open at 9 a.m. every day here at the Texas Card House. And if you are logged on before, if you're playing poker before 11 a.m., you play for 1 hour, then we will give you 2 hours. So real good deal there. Basically Basically a 2-for-1. You play 1 hour, you get 2 hours for free here at the Texas Card House RGV. All right, looks like Space Jam took away the Strato from Chaos, knowing that his VPIP is the second lowest. And then MG also coming in for the limp, trying to get that VPI, voluntary put money in pot, trying to get that up. Card reader having a little trouble with Justin's cards. It got that figured out. Baby Spider sees the limp from MG, and he's going to come in for a raise, trying to punish him. Marty with the Jack 7. A bit of a loose call here, but he does want to play big pots. And is MG calling with the 9 deuce? Oh, wow, okay. Great hand for blackjack. Not so much in hold'em. 5, 6, 8, 2 clubs. Baby Spider flopping top pair, and he's going to bet it probably about 75. Yeah, it looks like he bets 100. So bets 2/3 pots, and that'll clear everybody out. So the raise first in stat popping up there. Essentially, if they come into the pot, are they racing or are they calling? You can see Space Jam at 0%. So everybody's played, he's only called. He hasn't been the first one raising. Somebody either raised in front of him and he called, or he just limped. All right, action will be on seat 9, Justin, the big winner for today. You can see that all the black chips he has stacked up on top. He will let go of the 10-5. Big Fish with the fold. El Chewy, Queen 6 suited, he likes it. And Chubbs will take his 5-6 and raise with it. I think it's a little on the small side, as it's going to get a call from the small blind, but here comes Space Jam. I think this is the 3rd time he's had Ace-King tonight, and he needs to make this at least 140, probably closer to 160. $40 raise, that's a call, so that's 80 in the pot right there. And Chewy has 30 in the pot, so it's 90. C8 is a limp, so there's already $100 in the pot, so he is going to make it 200. Yeah, there was already $100 in the pot, and he knows he's going to be out of position, so he doesn't want to give anybody a good price. Sometimes if you have a real strong hand and you're in position, you don't mind playing a multi-way pot. But when you're out of position, it really limits your options. Everybody will fold, and Space Jam will pick up a $100 pot. No, hold on. Are we good? Did everybody fold? Yeah, everybody folded. I didn't think anybody would call. So you could see that he wins a $100 pot there without having to see a flop. So in general, tournaments versus cash games. Tournaments, you do see that a lot, no flops on tournaments. It's a very pre-flop game on tournaments. Cash game, you see a lot more flops, which is why a lot of people just like to splash around in the cash game, because they know if they get unlucky, they could just rebuy. In a tournament, you cannot do that. So the range is pre-flop a lot tighter in tournaments, a lot looser in cash games, as you can see, as we are coming up on hand 58 here. Marty with the action, excuse me, he's putting on the $10 Strato. Space Jam picking up the 10s. We'll just call. The 9s from MG also just calling. So both of the blinds playing a bit on the passive side. Oh, here we go. Chewy shipping it with the Ace-King. So the only question is, will Space Jam re-raise? He does have 2 players behind him that called the 10. And is he gonna fold? I mean, he only has $10 in, and that's his thought. Do the nines also fold?
Oh, that's cool.
The nines haven't folded yet, but I figured at least one of these guys would call. I thought it would have been Space Jam. Yes, there we go. The nines call. And Space Jam would have flopped the boat. No, Space Jam would have flopped the set. So Space Jam would have won a huge pot against Chewy. Well, not a huge pot. It would have been a $400 pot. $454 pot to be exact. But he folded the tens. Like I said, both the tens and the nines played it kind of passive there pre-flop. And the $200 turned out to be too much for the pocket tens to call. So Chewy, everything working out for him there. He got the worst hand to call and the best hand to fold. So if the tens call him, he loses. The nines call him, he wins. And that's exactly what happened. Chewy with a two pair just needed an ace or king, and he hit the ace right on the flop.
I wonder what else he's going to say about that. I mean, I wonder what Isaac's going to say about that. What are you going to say? What do you think Isaac's going to say?
All right, no straddle on so far. You can see the aggressiveness, and Marty was at the top, but now Justin leading the way. Okay. I didn't see the straddle, but we actually now have a double straddle. Now, the second straddle is live, so it's not a dead raise. I know in some places you'll try to double straddle and they'll basically say, well, you can just raise dark. That's all it is. But this is a live straddle, so the action will be last pre-flop on Spider. So the action will start off to his left. The action always starts off to the left of the straddle here at the Texas Card House. And the action will start off with Chewy, and then everybody will get to act on their hand, and then Spider, pre-flop, will get to act last. Now, once the flop comes out, it'll be in normal order to the left of the button. First to act will be Chewy here in this double straddled pot. So there's already $37 in there, and Chewy with a hand. Chewy should raise here. No, he just calls. I think Chubbs is going to raise here. No. So normally Chubbs raises here if he's the first in, but you could see him. He looked at Chewy, and I think he got a read from Chewy, and he knew Chewy was strong. So Justin is gonna put in the squeeze here. He does have a good hand. This is normally a good hand to 3-bet out of the blinds. That's exactly what he's doing. This is the proper GTO play. However, Chewy does have a hand. Is Chewy just calling? Wow, Chewy's just calling. This might bring Chubbs in. And it does. Everybody with a queen. So we need the queen of clubs. Queen of clubs for fireworks. So Justin, the pre-flop aggressor, flopping the world. Flopping the world here. He flops open-ended with 2 overcards with the flush draw. Yeah, the reader's right. I'm not sure what Chubbs is thinking about. Chubbs is going to fold. I guess he just has like a little time and tell here. So the crazy part is that Chewy has the ace high, so he's out in front right now, but the equity is with Justin, and he will not hit. Chewy wins with ace high. Chewy avoids everything. So good win for Chewy there, as he dodged any spade, any king, any 8, or any jack. So Justin actually doesn't live by the card house. He lives about an hour away at South Padre Island. So he doesn't play here as much as a Chubbs and Chewy does, and you can see that with how the players approach each other, knowing the players' tendencies. So Chewy limped in, and Chubbs had a king queen hand, which is normally a raise, especially GTO being a raise. But Chubbs and Chewy have history, and Chubbs knew that, and he just called the $10 to limp because he knew that Chewy had a good hand. Now, if Justin had the same history with Chewy and saw that limp, then Justin might have only also called with his hand. But he did make the right play by the book. He did make the theoretical correct play by 3-betting his hand. But sometimes in practice, it doesn't work. You can see Chewy limping again. And now Marty with the queen jack of spades. He's going to raise. He's raising. 65? Oh, Space Jam with the jacks. You gotta 3-bet here. Marty's range is so wide. Yeah, you can see the jack's not 3-betting, and he picks up both limpers. Marty's range is very wide there, which is why you need a 3-bet. I mean, obviously he can have you beat sometimes, but his range is very wide. All right, flop is 7 high, and it should check around to the jacks. Marty might take a stab at this, being the pre-flop aggressor. The jacks need a bet here. They need a bet at least half pot. So they need a bet at least 125. He has 5-13 in his. Did he check? Wow. Now here comes the king. Nobody has a king, but it's going to go checked again. If the jacks didn't bet on the flop, they're not betting when a king comes out. The only one who I can see still in this pot is Marty, because he had the pre-flop aggression, and that's exactly what he's going to try to do. He's representing the king, like I said. This line actually makes a lot of sense, and this is putting the jacks in a real weird spot. You can see him thinking about it. This is why he should have bet the flop. I'm not sure if he was worried about diamonds. You have jacks and it's a 7-high flop. You're loving life. Maybe he just overthought it a little bit, and he's overthinking it again. He still has 2 players behind him, so that's really putting him in a weird spot. So nobody else is going to call this. So if the jacks fold here, then everybody else will fold. So Marty just has to get by the jacks here. And here's the thing. If the jacks call it, it looks like he's cutting out the chips to do it. Marty is bombing the river. It doesn't matter what comes on the river. Marty is gonna bomb the river. Unless if he hits a queen or a jack, then he has showdown value, right? But anything that comes here, he doesn't feel like Space Jam is that strong. This pot is 583 and only $353 back. So he might not bomb the river just because Space Jam doesn't have that much. But let's see what happens. Okay. This should make the call easier for Space Jam since it is a paired board. Will Marty pull the trigger? I don't like it since it's a paired board. If the board didn't pair, then for sure he's betting. But the board paired here, so it makes it less likely that he has a king. But then again, the only way he can win the hand is if he bluffs it. So it's a check or an all-in, no in between, and he puts them all in. And looks like a snap call from the jacks. So the jacks get into full double up. So in my opinion, I don't think he played the hand optimal, but we just talked about the whole GTO thing and everything like that. I mean, all this stuff is good in theory. It doesn't necessarily work out in practice. So not necessarily taking the best GTO line with the jacks here, but working out to perfection as he does get the double up. I thought Mighty might shut it down since the board paired, but like I told you, once he bet the turn that he was going to bomb the river, and that was the play. But the issue or the problem was that Space Jam just had only $300 left, and the pot had already gotten too big for the jacks to fold there. So if an ace comes on the river there, the jacks are folding for sure, and there's a couple of other cards that will get the jacks to fold, but the king was a bad card to bluff because it made him less likely to have a king.
I did not have a set. I did not have trips, and I did not have or kings.
All right, is there any straddles? No. So Chewy, yeah, Chewy limping with the king nine. I didn't think he was folding. All right, what's the size in here? 25, 30? I like a 30. The kings? The kings are just limping? Are the kings limping in the cutoff? Wow. And this is the second time kings run into jacks. And there is no way Baby Spider is going to put anybody on kings here. Chaos even calling. So here comes the raise. Is it going to be all of it? Wow. Baby Spider's going to have to call here because this line makes no sense. Boy, he might have too much in chips. No. Baby Spider feels that this line makes absolutely no sense, and he is correct. But just like I said on the previous hands with the jacks, played a very unorthodox, but it worked out. Same thing here. The kings being played very unorthodox, but also working out again. It looks like he's also going to get a double up. Oh, is that right? Wow. That is so unlucky for the kings. He's literally drawing dead on the flop. Chewy folding the king nine of diamonds, so he's drawing stone cold dead on flop. You have kings, you get it all in, and that's what happens. Wow. So I'm pretty sure seat 8 played on our Wednesday stream in the Omaha, and he got really unlucky then and getting really unlucky tonight. I think that there was no way for him to avoid it, because if he would have raised with the kings pre-flop, Spider would have 3-bet him with the jacks, and then they still wind up getting it all in. So sometimes you find that in poker that there's and looks like he's leaving. Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm not having a good week, so he's leaving, just limiting his losses there. But sometimes in poker, it doesn't matter how you play a hand. That no matter what you do in the hand, you're destined to win it or you're destined to lose it. And the king's there, no matter how you played him. If you would have played it proper GTL, if you would have played it the way he played it, if you would have played it somewhere in between, he was destined to lose. And that's what happens. And sometimes you play a hand where you're just destined to win. So coming in for a raise is the ace-queen. Big fish will fold. Oh, wow. Spider with kings now. And Justin's the chip leader. So Spider's going to put in a 3-bet. And I think, yeah, Spider going up to 165. The ace queen, I think, is just going to call. No, he folded face up. He folded face up. Wow. You could see Spider shocked that he's folded ace queen face up.
Yeah, but you know it's such a small stack, remember? Oh, no, I think we played a different hand.
So Justin saying he thought that Spider had a smaller stack, which is why he folded, because it really wasn't worth it in his mind. But you can see the big stack that Spider has there in seat 2. Can't believe he just folded ace queen like that. And the 3-bet wasn't that big. It went from 50 to like 165. So you get to play in position with the ace queen. You're the chip leader right now. So a lot of these players making some crazy plays, and a lot of them are being right. I mean, I see the cards, you see the cards. So we kind of have a basic idea on what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing, and they do something different, and it works out. All right, Spider now with the ace queen, and I guarantee you he's not folding to a 3-bet.
I mean, that's a bad fold, but in that situation, you happen to be good fold.
Yeah, and Spider basically telling him that, yes, he did have him beat. The players know we are on a 15-minute delay, so Spider saying, I can't believe he folded. It was the right fold, but you're not supposed to be folding that hand, which he is correct. So Marty wanted to play the big pots. Is Big Fish going to call here? He does close the action, and he is suited. And he does have the Choctaw nuts. I think he's going to fold. Yeah, he's folding. He's folding. So ace queen versus 9-8. It's 60-40 going to the flop. 41% for Marty. The 9-8 suited. Oh. Oh, you want to see big pots? Marty's going to be involved in another big pot here. He has a straight draw and a flush draw. Spider with top 2 pair. And Spider down bets to 65. Marty might raise here. For sure he's calling. Just calls. Let's see an 8. I mean a 7. Oh, there's a straight. So Marty hitting the straight. The only problem is it is a 4-liner. So any king makes a straight, so that slows down the action. And now Marty hits his flush. Marty's going to bet something small here. No, it went check, check. It went check, check. So Marty with the win. If the 10 was an ace or queen, he would have lost. But a real unfortunate run out for him, as it was a bunch of scare cards that came. He made his hand, but they were all scare cards. The jack came on the turn, giving him a straight, but any king made a straight. So even though Baby Spider had top 2 pair, he knew any king made a straight, so he checked it back. And then the river paired the board, and the flush draw got there, and Baby Spider figured that if anybody called him on the flop, that they were on some sort of draw, and everything got there. So he checked it back again once again. So Baby Spider, even though he lost that hand, he loses the least.
Damn. What do you think they're gonna do? Like, you really think they're gonna he's a guy, or you think they're gonna try to
Big Fish with kings. I could see him limping here. He does a lot of unorthodox things, especially on stream. No, it's a tiny raise. He min raises it. Min raises it to 20, and Spider calls him immediately. So I was about to say he's doing, one of the reasons why he's doing this is because he wants to make it seem like he's weak, and Chubbs takes the bait. I think Marty's going to call here. He doesn't think that Big Fish is strong. No, Marty folded. But he doesn't think Big Fish is strong just because he min raised it. So Big Fish with the Jedi mind trick here. He can't call again, can he? just called again. Wow. Just inviting Spider to come in. Now Spider folds, but he min raises it and then just calls the min raise. And now, now he has the hand he doesn't want to be against. He's against a flush draw. Queen high flush draw for Chubbs. If Chubbs raising with queen high out of the blind and he flops flush draw, he's going to continue here. So the pot is 300. Chubbs betting half pot. Big Fish is just going to call. Or at least I think Big Fish is going to call. The way that he's played this hand up until this point, the bad part for Big Fish is he has the king of hearts as well. Well, it's either bad or good, right? Because he is taking one of his outs away, and he can also hit a flush. He can go runner on a flush. Big Fish, did Big Fish say all in? Chubbs called as well. Yeah, so big hand here. I kind of want to see like a 5 or an 8. That's not a hard, just to give Chubbs a straight draw, or a queen or a 7. Let's see some more outs for Chubbs. No, it's an ace. And the river, if the river's a red card, no. So if the 5 would have come on the turn, it would have given him open-ended. So, but the 5 coming on the river, and Chubbs will not hit the flush draw, and Big Fish will scoop the pot. So Big Fish with the win, played the kings. Real tricky where he just min raised the straddle to 20. And the reason why he did that is because he was inducing somebody to 3-bet because he wanted to make the 20 seem weak. And Chubbs 3-bet the pot. And that's when I thought Big Fish was going to then activate his trap. But he chose to just call once again. Baby Spider was in between the two and decided to fold. So then Chubbs flopping a flush draw, betting half pot. Big Fish with the king of hearts, which is why I think he moved all in, because he figured that even if Chubbs has 2 pair or has a set, he still has some extra outs like that. So he moves all in. Chubbs calls him with the flush draw. Big Fish holds. Justin is going to be coming in for a raise here. He does have the GTO patch, and this is normally GTO play where you're coming in for a raise, and that's what he does. Big Fish, one last hand. He wants to do a little heat check here. And his 10 is in bad shape. The ace-jack is just going to call. I think everybody's going to miss. Nope. So the king 10 flopping a straight draw, the ace-jack flopping middle pair, and Big Fish also flopping a straight draw, but it's going to be no good. The 9 will be no good for him. He thinks the 9 is good, which is why he's thinking about calling, but it's just a gut shot, so I think he's folding. Let's see. So Justin, the pre-flop aggressor, continues on. And Space Jam is probably going to call at least once. Let's see here. I would think he would call, but like I said, these players have been doing some things that aren't in the book. No, the ace-jack folds. So I'm sure you already know this, but actually seeing it done is seeing is believing. But a lot of times, just the pure aggression is going to win you a pot. So the king 10 with the worst hand will win the pot with his aggression.
Bro, no, the people that don't put their stacks in 20, like they just have like 800, like all like this. It's like, wait, what the fuck? Bro,
all right, so Justin, the big winner, up $2,100. Big Fish with a $2,000 win. Mahdi down And this is going to be a misdeal. Once again, normally it is not, but since this is the stream table, it's showing Space Jam is winning, but I'm not sure because he left and came back. So I don't know if that's 100% accurate. El Chewy up $65. So both Chubbs and Madi not winning right now, and there's some other players that did not win that are not at the table anymore. So that's why it's only showing 2 losers when in actuality we saw the Kings get cracked earlier from seat 8 MG, so he's in the red. And then the seat that Chewy took, seat 3, Doggy, he was a real fun player. He went all in like 5 times dark, and they finally got him the 5th time, but he's in the red as well. So it's only showing 2 players in the red when in actuality there's a lot more. All right, so we are still got about another half hour left in the stream. So somebody asking about the bad beat, and there is a bad beat available here at the Texas Card House RGV. Put that information up on the screen. Get back to it as we're in the middle of a hand. Ace King, Ace Queen 6. 10 coming on the turn. Gives the Ace King a straight draw. Still have flush draws out there. Oh wow, that's why the Ace King checked on the flop. I couldn't figure it out because he flopped top pair with a flush draw. Yeah. He flopped everything, and now he turned a straight draw too. So normally the Ace King will do the c-bet there, but he hit the board really good and wanted people to catch up. All right, there's a bad beat. So essentially, if you have a straight flush and lose, then the bad beat jackpot is 25,000. Both players must use both hold cards. So essentially, if you have a small straight flush and somebody has a bigger straight flush, I know in the past the qualifier has gone down. I'm not sure how long the straight flush qualifier is going to stay up, but I know in the past that it's gone down to like quads, and then like every week it'll go to a smaller quad. So if you have quad aces and lose, and then if you have quad kings and lose. But right now it's a straight flush. If you have a straight flush and lose, then that will trigger their bad beat. Now, once again, both players have to use both hold cards. Another Ace King of Spades. This time it'll be Spider. And Chubbs with the raise. Madi coming in with the 5-6. And Spider's going to put in a 3-bet here. It was a double straddle. Spider going to be 3-bet, and Chubbs immediately folded. And I think Madi's going to fold as well. No. He has the button, and he wants to play big pots. So he will make the call, and he's actually not in bad shape here. It's 60-40, 60% to 40% going to the flop. Plus, he's going to have position. So that's going to play a factor, and he flops open-ended. So you can see he's actually in front right now mathematically. He has a 52% chance to win this pot if it goes to the river. It goes check, check. The turn. Okay. He still has the same straight draw, but now he dipped down to 32%. Baby Spider is should be betting this. And went check, check on the flop. And maybe that third heart will slow him down, but we'll see if he does bet it. Yeah, he bets 225, which is about half pot. I think Madi's going to call here. Yeah, he does call. And Madi's bluffing this river if he misses. Once again, the board pair. So normally it's not good to bluff on a paired board, but it's the 3. It's the bottom card, so it might work. Spider's really going to have to make a hero call, but Marty actually shuts it down. So it goes check, check on the river. Marty got caught bluffing once with a paired board. He didn't think it would work twice. I think he put Spider on a pair like 9s, 10s, or jacks, and he didn't think it would work. He was right. Well, I think he was right.
Oh no, Chris.
I think actually Marty missed the bet on the flop there with the 5-6. It was checked to him. He flopped open-ended, and he had a backdoor flush draw as well. So I think he should have started building the pot at that point.
Chris doesn't even want the 100.
But once again, it's easy to say when you see the cards. Everybody's an expert after the hand.
Yeah, he's
No straddle. So Baby Spider had the double straddle on last hand, but he doesn't straddle. Yeah, they're going to let him double straddle. I mean, just do the normal straddle because he normally straddles either way.
So that was for the high hat. That means they knocked off the quads already. Quad jacks, right?
Quad jacks and straight flush.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be good. We need the royal. We need the royal.
They hit 2 today.
They need the royal.
No, the tournament didn't count.
We didn't even give up. The head.
Nobody with much of anything here. Space Jam just call with the ace. Wow, big fish with the ace jack also just calling. Queen 9-4, 2 clubs. It'll be funny if the 7 deuce wins this hand. All right, here comes the bluff. Baby Spider's gonna bluff this. There's 30 in the pot. He's gonna bet 20. Yeah, he bet 25. Once the blank came, I knew he was gonna bluff it, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, the quad is 2.
So the ace jack of diamonds just choosing to call pre-flop,
I don't know. I thought it was going to hurt.
and that's gonna open the door for Spider to take it away from him. All right, VPIP. Chaos and Space Jam on the bottom. We're 8-handed now. Nobody wanted to take that last seed, as we do have about another 20 minutes left on the stream here. So nobody wanted to just play on the stream for 20 minutes. So it looks like we're going to continue to be 8-handed here. Both Chaos and Space Jam on the low side, and we are done with the VPIP as far as having the player switch out if they're on the low side. Marty will come in for a raise here. 20, is it 20? No, it's 25.
Honestly, most places I wouldn't suggest for the king-high straight flush.
I think Chewy's going to call him. Chewy limped under the gun with the king 10. So Chewy will call him. Chewy's actually out in front right now. And Marty's going to outflop him with the jack. Check, check. And now Chewy comes back to take the lead. And I think it's going to go check, check the way this has been played, and it does. So Chewy will get the win. Little $57 pot there.
Yeah, it's like a block, so there'll be like a morning, a midday, and then a night.
I like it a lot.
So if they don't hit in the morning, it rolls over only for the morning guys. The middle, and then at night too.
Bro, Pete has always won and has trips back there and never uses them. No, he wins. We have 20 minutes.
Definitely, they weren't talking about dedication. And if you ever meet her, oh my god, I feel like it's ridiculous. My older sister
suited that was coming out.
I think if they were the same color, you would have called. They're multi-million. But it was red and black, so you're like,
And I had, other than that ace king, I ain't seen a hand since that straight flush. That's the only hand I've seen. I mean, the rest of them are just like that. And every time I get something like an ace 4 or ace 5 suited, these are the best cards I've seen. I try to stick in the hand. The rating is too good back there.
what do you think?
I think bro, because then that other guy took 15K from a stack, right? That same night?
How did they bust that off?
So under the gun will be Chubbs here.
And I feel like that guy panicked when
Like, you took it from her before she loses it?
because she did like the stupid, like she should never have called him there, right? I don't know. And bro, it was weird. Then she tells him like, I'll give you the money back. If you make that ballsy call, why would you give the money back?
So everybody just coming in for the limp.
Yeah, like you feel guilty.
We're talking about that again? Damn.
Bro,
Two spades, Chewy flopping a flush draw, Chaos flopping a pair. It looks like Chaos is going to take a stab at it.
She's not a thing anymore, right? She's not even playing on any streams.
Big Fish should fold his hand, and does.
I saw that. That was like a year ago.
So flush draw versus a pair. Chewy's 7 and 8 are live as well, and he does hit the 7. So I don't see him folding here. Straight draw is picked up by Chaos. A 4 would make him a straight.
I got the offer from Mike. Listening. What was the guy who wanted to get
oh yeah. Did they get him on?
what they told him? Like,
Chaos continuing on here. Has a pair, has the straight draw, but Chewy has a better pair and a flush draw. Chewy going to be making the call here. 4 of spades on the river. 4 of spades on the river. 5 of spades on the river. That's a spade on the river. Chewy gets there. And it's going to go check, check. Chewy checked on the river. It's going to go check, check. Just under a $300 pot. $290 pot going to Chewy. So if you're interested in getting on the stream here at Texas Card House Live, RGV, got an email set up for you. RGV Live at texascardhouse.com. You could reach out. And also would like to remind you to hit that like button, as we've had some real good action tonight. It really helps out with the channel, guys, boys and girls. So if you're watching at home, watching at work, watching in bed. All right, let's see what we got here. The player stacks, just the spirit, okay? Body with the straddle. Space Jam probably folding here. 9-7 of hearts. I like coming in for a raise here, but GTO Wizard's going to be folding. Big Fish with the natural 9 should also be folding. He thought about it. And it's folded around the Spider. Spider will come in for the raise here. He does have a hand here, the 8s. Chewy calling right behind him. So what does El Chewy have? Okay, 8s for Spider, seat 3. Chewy, Queen Jack offsuit. Is Chewy the button? Yeah, Chewy's the button. Okay, so that makes sense. Chubbs with the 9 is going to be putting in the 3-bet here. And is that to 125? What is it? It's to 150. So it's on the big side here. And Spider just puts him all in. Spider thinks he's flipping with Chubbs here, but he's not. He's in terrible shape. He's in terrible shape as it's 9s versus 8s. So big advantage for Chubbs right now. So 8 of clubs, no good for Spider. No, yeah, it's still good for him because it would boat him up. So Chubbs with the win. So Spider raising to 35 with the 8s in the cutoff. Chewy calling on the button. Chubbs making it 150 out of the small blind. Spider was hoping he was in a flip, so he re-raised to put Chubbs all in. He wasn't going to call the 150 and then fold if a bad card came out.
Also, what is he like 6 for 4 against Jordan?
It's like talking about religion.
Yeah, look it up.
You can't talk about this. It's like talking about religion. It's never ending. It's never ending.
I don't even want to get it. Saying that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan.
Got about another 5 hands left on the stream tonight.
His stats over a shorter career are almost as good as his extra 10 years playing.
Larry doesn't even have a shoe.
That's huge.
He does. Converse weapon. He shares it with Magic Johnson.
All right, so Space Jam with the straddle. Action will be on Justin.
Chewy, I'm telling you, it's like religion. Never can win. Yeah, you can. You're gonna share something else. Somebody else gonna share another stat.
There's another one?
So Chewy holding up his shoe for some reason.
Oh, are you wearing a Larry Bird? I would buy him if they made them. They do, did they? Larry Bird buy them. Larry Bird weapon. Then I'll have this argument for my shoes on the table.
Spider with the aces. He's been pretty aggressive, so he should be getting some action here. He raises to 40. Chewy folds the suited ace. I guess he was busy putting his shoe back on. Body's going to call. Going set mine in.
Like a lot of people don't know about Shaq because they still Kmart. There we go. Pay less. I pay less.
So aces versus sixes. The Jack 4 folded, and Big Fish is going to have to fold here. Big Fish is going to have to fold here.
If you had your phone, for sure you would look it up right now.
I would, yeah. I'd order them.
Bro, get him in black and white.
All right, so Madi looking for a 6. Ace, 9, 7. That's going to be the end of this hand. As Spider should be c-betting here. Madi can't call. He either puts Spider on a bigger pair or big cards like Ace King or King Queen. So Spider's going to bet. It is a small bet. Oh, it might bring Madi along. It might be a good price for him. He does have some backdoor straight draws as well.
Did y'all see the movie?
I was going to say that's one of the backdoor straight draws, but it's not. The Madi checks again, hoping his sixes are good, hoping he's up against Ace Queen, Ace Jack. He does check. Is Spider gonna put out a bet? He does 140, and that should do it. He can only beat Ace Queen, Ace Jack. He has to specifically put him on those hands, and he believes him. I do understand the call on the flop. Spider did size it down, and Madi had some backdoor draws. So that call makes sense. But when he checks again and Spider fires at it again, sometimes you are folding the best hand with sixes there, but sometimes you do have to fold the best hand in poker. In this case, it wasn't the best hand, and he did make the right fold. Let's see if there's any straddles.
I don't remember what I was doing in my house all that time. I don't remember.
On the app, depression raging. On the app.
Doesn't look like we have a straddle, so I would imagine the open would be somewhere between 20 and 30 if somebody comes in. 20 on the small side. I don't see Justin coming in with the Jack Deuce, Ace King. Big Fish. Let's see. Let's see what type of line he's going to take here. Is it going to be a normal line? Yeah, he's making it 30. So far he's playing normal. Oh, Chubbs with the Ace King suited is 3-betting. No. All right. And that's going to bring in Space Jam. So all 3 players with aces, Ace King versus Ace King versus Ace 3. And the flop would be a 3. The 3 gets there, but the 9 and 7 are going to get there. So if anybody shows aggression in any sort of way, let's go and check. Space Jam should bet here. He should bet here, and it looks like he's assembling some chips. That's on the small side. And I could see Chubbs for sure calling this bet, but maybe even raising. It does seem like a bit of a blocker bet, and you can see him thinking about it. And there's the raise. Yeah, especially with Big Fish calling. Especially with Big Fish calling. I think he was going to make this raise either way, but once Big Fish called, it seemed like the 20 was weak, and he's pouncing on this. It's going to be too much heat for the ace-3, and then Big Fish is going to fold as well. Even if Big Fish calls, they're only chopping. So Big Fish should be folding here. Let's see here. And he finally announces it, and I thought Chubbs might show just because we have a couple of hands left on the stream. I thought that he might show there, but as soon as Space Jam bet the 20 into the 92, it seemed like a very weak bet, and that's exactly what it was. Chubbs picked up on it right away, and really playing the player there, making the raise. All right, there's the VPIP. Chaos is actually on the lowest side now. Space Jam still on one of those bottom two spots. Spider has voluntarily put money in the pot. Half of the pots, and Madi about the same at 49. Double straddle. This is what Spider's been doing all night. Big Fish straddles, Spider re-straddles, and Chewy is gonna make the call. Chaos, I like about $100 raise here from Chaos. He has the queens, and no, he's gonna be trappy. I think the players know that this stream is almost over, so they're taking some different lines, trying to get a little trappy, and that's what Chaos is doing here with his queens. Big Fish is not gonna raise. We'll see what Spider has. The only one that had a chance of raising there was Baby Spider, and he does not. He has the King-8. So Ace-King, essentially, versus Queens. Chaos does not want to see an ace or a king. And Spider, I believe, flopping a pair and only bets $20. Chaos should be raising here, and here comes the raise. Makes it 100. Spider might come along. He has top pair here. And it's a very draw-heavy board, so it's very easy for Spider to put a Chaos here on a big draw, and that's what he's doing. He's putting him like on a 7 where he has a straight draw, or he's putting him on a flush draw. Yeah, so Spider thinks that his 8 is good right now. A spade will save him money. Yes, so a spade should save him money. I could see this going check. The flush did get there, so Chaos is worried about the flush. He doesn't have the queen of spades, so it's going to go check, and Chaos does make the bet. But that spade, like I said, it actually saved Spider money. He thought he was ahead when he made the call. He made the $20 bet, which looked weak, so he figured that somebody might be raising him light, especially since the board was very wet. Any 7 made a straight. There was 2 spades out there, so he called, hoping not to see a spade or hoping not to see a straight card, and the spade came out. He thought he was beat because of the flush, but it turned out he was beat from the beginning. Baby Spider with the straddle once again. El Chewy should fold this Jack 4, excuse me, and he does. Chaos, 8 deuce of hearts, will probably fold it, and does. Chubbs, I would say, might have played the 3 deuce. And it looks like it's going to be folded around to the blinds. And is Big Fish going to give Spider a walk? Gives him a walk. Walk it off. The double straddle gets a walk. All right, so we got 2 more hands to go on the stream here. Yeah, 2 more hands to go. We're at hand 77. Got 78 hands in tonight. We are on a 15-minute delay. At least I'm on a 15-minute delay. So the players have already played these hands 15 minutes ago. They are in a separate room. I'm kind of in the back area here of the Texas Card House. Okay, so Chewy with the jacks coming in for the raise, going to be 25. Let's see if anybody has anything to call it. It's a good raise under the gun for Chewy. Chubb's folding the bad ace. Marty with the suited king. Likes to play pots. The jack 9 also coming along here. Is it? Is it? Jack 9 suited? It does. Queen 9's probably going to fold. Might call just because he has the button. Did he call that Justin call?
Oh, damn.
So the jacks needed to avoid a king or a queen. And it is going to be a big flop here as he flops an overpair. Marty with the flush draw. Space Jam with top pair. And Justin with top pair. So everybody getting a piece of this flop with the exception of Chaos. Chewy betting the $80, getting the call. Good folds by the 9s there, as both the Jack 9 and the Queen 9 fold. And well, actually, there's an ace on the board, so that's why I folded. I thought it was ace-high flop. So if Chewy checks here, and I think he is, I think Marty's going to represent. No, check, check. River is a 6, and now Marty has showdown value with the 6. So it just goes check, check again. I thought Marty might have taken a stab at it there on the turn, but once he got the showdown value, that's why it went check, check. All right, folks, this is going to be our last hand of the night, hand 78, coming your way from South Texas. So just waiting for the graphics to clear. There we go. Okay, this is the last hand, and the floor is announcing that this is the last hand. They're actually going to switch the cards, and the reason why is these cards have the little chips in them, so really just want to use them when we're having the stream. This is the last hand of the stream. The players are going to continue to play this 2-5 game, but they will change out the cards just to the normal cards. And Justin coming in for a raise with the jacks, back-to-back jacks. Last time it was Chewy, this time it's Justin. Last hand of the stream. And is he going to get any action? I think I see Chewy giving him a call. Chewy with the 10-7 of hearts. And Space Jam with the 8-7 of clubs. So the jack's way out in front right now. And the king and the queen come, so it might go check around here. I can see the jacks very easily checking. There are 2 overcards and 2 opponents. Nobody has a backdoor draw, but it looks like Justin's going to figure out if anybody has a king or a queen. Going to put out a small bet there. Basically, if he gets called, he would have checked it down, but that's going to do it for tonight. Would like to thank everybody joining us here at Texas Card House RGV. Our next stream here will be on Wednesday. We're going back to 1-3 hold up.